this season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. See your future at lumosfiber.com/future.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Sammy Hanna, owner-operator of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I tell people this all the time. If I am doing a commercial for somebody, I am vouching for who they are and what they do. You guys do great work, but your customer service stands above all the great work that you do.
Adam, I truly appreciate that testimonial. And yeah, we try to take pride in our customer service and meet and exceed our homeowners' expectations on all their home improvement needs. Obviously, there's many companies out there that do what we do. If you Google home improvements, Raleigh, you're going to get many, many companies. But you're not going to find too many companies out there that have a 4.9 rating and over 800 Google reviews and over 7,000 Guild Quality reviews. It takes a lot of work on our part to make sure we meet and exceed all your expectations on customer service. And we're going to continue to do so because that's why we've been in business since 1961.
I have used the Aluminum Company. I have not heard anyone that had anything but incredible things to say about all of you, and that is amazing. That's a testimony to how you guys do it. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com. WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
And all I wanted to do was wait till the end of the year. And they wanted me to retire on Monday before the state game. We hadn't beaten state. It was really important for these kids to play well tonight and have a chance to win. I didn't want to break their hearts on Monday, so I said, no, I won't do that. And then they wanted me to do it on Friday. Well, I sure wasn't going to do it Friday before the game. You're 24 hours from game and you're disrupting their entire lives and coaches. Because 71 people in this building have a different situation than they had last week. So I felt like that the thing I said is I'll talk to you tonight after the game about it, or I'll talk to you Sunday morning. And I don't know what the difference in Monday and Saturday night would have been.
Appears to be a little drama over in Chapel Hill. We'll sort of get to the bottom of it later. Hi, everyone. It's the Adam Gold Show. It's very, very soap opera-y music.
It is very soap opera-y music. It's very.
I mean, I don't know. Is that the theme song to One Life to Live?
These.
I have no idea.
I
know Young and the Restless.
Of our college football
I know that
times.
One. I know Days of Our Lives.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know others, but that definitely had a soap opera feel to it.
There used to be like Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital.
I used to watch General Hospital back in the day.
Yep. Back in the day.
I didn't watch many of the others.
Maybe Mack Brown watched them.
Maybe. I had friends of mine who were on the football team when I was at the University of Maryland back in the 80s, and they watched soap operas. They a lot of times would come up to my room and hang out and watch soap operas because we lived. My dorm was right by the athletic dining hall, And they used to come upstairs and then go down and eat dinner.
Oh, there you go.
So
prime spot.
Exactly. And I don't know. Never mind. Just I don't need to get into it. It's inappropriate. Anyway, but Mack Brown's story would certainly, if 100% true, would put North Carolina in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it with Greg Barnes from Inside Carolina coming up in about 7.5 minutes.
Well, and hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah,
maybe they had a long weekend. Who knows?
Gosh, I feel like I've been off forever. 3 Hurricanes games ago.
Yeah.
Only one of which was a good outcome.
Yeah.
A lot of football. The NFL games on Thanksgiving Day were awful. Awful, except the one competitive game gave us, what is this coach doing?
I know.
In fact, the owner and the general manager thought the same thing and fired him the next day.
They did.
Because I remember talking to Rod Brindamore before the game on Friday for the Hurricanes and the Panthers Part 1 on Friday, and I just asked him, did you watch a lot of football yesterday? He goes, yes. What was the coach doing?
Right.
Like, he brought that up. I didn't.
Eberflus should have been fired before this season.
It seemed to me like he was trying to get fired.
I know.
And that seems odd. But anyway, it has been a very, very long weekend of 4 days of football, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, tons of. We got one more game left in week 1, and it's a big one.
Yeah.
It's the Broncos and the Browns. Cleveland can do a lot of other teams are solid by beating Denver. Jameis Winston, maybe he is auditioning to be the quarterback of the Browns next year.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Be interesting that if Baker Mayfield's the quarterback in Tampa and Jameis Winston, who started in Tampa, could then become the quarterback of the Browns, that would be interesting. All right. We don't have a lot of time because Greg Barnes is going to join us at about 10 after, so let's get going.
No organized violence for me, though. All these sports and no UFC.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So you had to
sad.
watch, and I think in many ways revel in the fact that, and I tweeted this out yesterday, methinks the Carolina Panthers just might have their quarterback.
I know. It's looking good. I was impressed.
Shocking. Also,
look at a little bird girl.
Right, look at it. Also, and I don't usually play these games, but without a dog in the fight, maybe the best possible outcome.
Maybe.
Because it was pretty clear that Bryce Young took another step forward.
Yes.
Right?
Literally and figuratively.
Right? We could all agree.
Yep.
And the Panthers lost the game, so they give themselves, increasingly good chance at maybe a top 5 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And not picking like 13th.
Look, if you're going to
win
lose
too many games,
at least they don't look like garbage losing.
Right. But the thing is, they should have won the game.
They should have.
Should have won the game. And here's Dave Canales on the message after another tough one.
It was just the same message I gave to all of you. It's the things that we control, the things that were well within our control in terms of just getting down there to, in field goal range, coming away with points there, taking care of the ball at the end right there because that's on us, So that's the point to, drive it home to the team. It was the same message that I just gave to all of you.
So here's the Chuba Hubbard fumbled in overtime after the Buccaneers missed the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And Hubbard doesn't fumble a lot, so it was a little bit of a surprise. I know he's wearing it. But it wasn't a great game for Chuba Hubbard. It wasn't a great game for the run game.
No.
For the Panthers. But there were so many other good things. Again, hate to be that guy because you want to win, because winning does teach lessons too. And you can't just kick field goals. You got to score touchdowns. No. They attempted 6 field goals.
Right. What game was it? The Vikings that they were just kicking field goals in the first half?
Steelers have won 2 games this year without a touchdown.
Yesterday, I got to look it up
I don't know what the Vikings were doing.
Yeah.
But
it's like the whole first half was field goals, both teams.
The Panthers, you got to score touchdowns.
You do.
But, man, Bryce Young was good again. And let's see, 298 yards passing. He had a touchdown, 10-yard touchdown run, scramble run for a score again. No picks. Third game in a row, third start in a row without an interception. I will ask this question. Was Bryce Young's best pass an incomplete pass? I would argue yes. From one hash mark to the far sideline to the right, and a absolute dime thrown to David Moore that Moore just couldn't catch. I mean, got to catch that. Your quarterback makes a throw like that, you have to catch it. But I don't care. We know how good the throw was. The game-tying touchdown on the move. Great throw. There's so many good things to think about when it comes to Bryce Young in this game, including he gets his security blanket back in Adam Thielen.
He did.
It's just great. Did you see the one-handed catch?
Oh, I did see the one-handed catch. It was beautiful.
Insanity.
It was beautiful.
What a grab. Here's Bryce on his wide receiver.
I'm not. Just have to get, be as focused as we can. Adam's been huge for us. It's huge for us as a system, us as a team. I have all the trust in the world in him. That's something that play like that in a moment like that, as great as it doesn't surprise me at all. That's something that that's what he's built for. So I'm super grateful. I just want to give him a shot, throw it up there, and that's an amazing catch that he made in the biggest down at the time. So that speaks to the player he is.
He's just incredible. I know he dropped a pass. He dropped a touchdown pass. But he also caught one. He caught the game-tying touchdown pass, and he made that catch on a third down situation. Throw wasn't the most accurate in the world, but it was a phenomenal grab. Adam Thielen is what he is. He's a possession receiver, but he has a synergy with Bryce Young. And, yes, it does appear that Carolina has a quarterback. Is he going to be great? Time will tell. But it looks like he can be good. And there's half the battle. You have a guy you can work with, you can grow with. Next year will be the year that they will be able to determine whether or not Bryce Young is the guy. So congratulations just for figuring that out. Greg Barnes going to join us here in a second. As we wait on Greg, Mack Brown, you heard it in the beginning. Mack Brown wanted to wait until the end of the year to retire, but ultimately he does agree with the administration that a change was necessary.
I agree with the administration that we need a change of leadership at the top. I just wanted it to happen after the season was over. These poor kids have had so much turmoil in their lives, and I think the administration's into finding a football coach, and I'm into saving lives and making sure that they're healthy, making sure that they're mentally healthy. And when you have a 4-game losing streak, that's hard for kids. They're not used to that, especially here. We hadn't had that happen. And then especially with a sick young guy. So you got a 4-game losing streak, and then you lose one of your best friends that you've watched die at 23 years old. So I wasn't thinking about me. I wasn't thinking about my future. I was thinking about what's best for these young people.
That's Mack Brown, who after the game said that he wanted to wait until today to announce his retirement. I'd love to think that that's what he wanted to do. As we bring in Greg Barnes from inside Carolina, as plugged in as anybody within the football program. Let me just start. First of all, thank you very much. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Hope your tree is real and up already. But let me just ask this question to start. Is that the way it was going to play out, you think, from Mack Brown's perspective, that he was going to retire today?
Adam, that is a great question. And it's kind of hard to filter through the he said, she said aspect of things.
Right.
But the fact that Mack Brown went on a bit of a PR tour past couple of weeks, telling anybody who would listen that he planned to be back.
Yep.
Even going back to last Monday, he said that he was planning to be back. That kind of throws a wrench into his comments after the game on Saturday night. You hate to see it kind of play out the way that it did, but I don't think there was any question that it was time for UNC and Mack Brown to part ways.
Greg Barnes, Inside Carolina at GC Barnes 23 on Twitter. That's the thing that gets me about what Matt, and I guess the sad part is that it's going to overshadow this is what I wanted to do. This is what I said. This is what they did. Because that's basically the way it played out. It's going to overshadow the Mack Brown 2.0. So only one more about what actually happened. Because if it would have been very easy for Mack to just tell Bubba Cunningham, hey, when the season ends, I will retire so we don't have to go through this. So it almost leads me to believe that, like we're just playing revisionist history with all of it.
Well, sure. And university contact told us, a spokesperson said that there was no indication given to Bubba that Mack was going to step down at the end of the year. So if that was part of the plan, you would think that would be shared with Bubba. But again, you get into the he said, she said aspect of it. A little perspective here, Adam. You've been around a long time and done this for a long time. When Mack came back, in November 2018, one thing that he really pushed in meetings with media members was his version of events for why he left to go to Texas back in the fall, December of '97. Very specific, saying that Dickie Bedore botched how all that played out, and that they wanted to stay, but because things were done so poorly that they really had no choice but to leave. And so when you bookend that with what happened, this past weekend, in terms of the entire point of that post-game statement was basically to put blame on Bubba for handling it poorly.
Right.
As Mack said himself that, hey, I was going to step down anyway. This was just handled poorly. So when you add it to kind of, his goal when he came in to kind of smooth over what had happened when he left the last time, it just kind of speaks to Mack's ability to shape the narrative. And as I said, there's a lot of he said, she said here. But at the end of the day, it was time for UNC to move on to the next stage, which is where we're at.
Greg Barnes, Inside Carolina, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. All right, I've a billion more things about this that are running through my head, but I'm going to have to sort through it myself. So let's get to where we go from here with the football program. Let me ask this, a bigger picture about Mack 2.0, because even though the success on the field wasn't as good as maybe it should have been, maybe they should have won more games. Did he not accomplish his goal in terms of getting the program back on good, solid foundations?
I think so, for sure. Especially if you look at the academic side of things, Carolina has really thrived in Mack Brown 2.0. A big thing that happened at the end of the Larry Fedora era was that he just really kind of did a poor job with those high school recruiting relations with the area coaches. Mack really did a great job repairing that. Mack raised, I want to say it was right at $24 million his first 3 years for the university and athletic department, and they used that to not only improve facilities. There was 2 renovations, one's currently ongoing. But they also increased the assistant coaching pool, salary pool. So there's a lot of good things that Mack did. I think really the best way to probably look at this is if Mack came in and they had laid out a plan of saying, look, Mack's older. We only expect him to be here 5 years. We want to hit these benchmarks. Everybody would have been on board. It wouldn't have been a problem.
Right.
But, this year, I think this was the worst team that Mack fielded. And there was this sense that he wanted to keep it going, even though I think everybody knew that it was probably had run its course. And so that's kind of the sad thing about it, is you're exactly right. First 5 years, I think it went exactly how they had hoped it would go.
Yeah.
And then this year and beyond, it's just, it wasn't trending in the right direction.
Yeah, the funny thing is that I really thought, it felt to me like last year was going to be the last year. I was honestly surprised that we had year 6. I really, really was, based on just a vibe I got from, at times, Mack, and at times the program, that last year was going to be the last year. And then we had this year, and this year was, I think we all thought it was going to be a challenge. I mean, you can go best case scenario, which might have been 8, maybe 9 wins if everything went right, but obviously it didn't. All right, so now where do we go from here? Do they try to stay within the? I hate the within the family type of hires, because no offense to my friend John Bunting, but that's ultimately where you end up. You end up, favoring somebody who's worn that uniform or been through it here before, rather than go out and get the best possible coach. So where do you think they're going to end up?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anybody within the family. I think that's it may work for basketball, but as you said, there's really not that much success on the football side of things to warrant that type of decision anyway.
Right.
Because you do end up with the John Bunnings of the world. And it's going to be, when you look at what Bubba has preferred to do throughout his career, not just at Carolina but prior, he wants to hire somebody that has head coach experience. Now, of course, Hubert is an outlier to that, but that really wasn't Bubba's decision anyway.
Right.
So I think what you're going to see is that they're going to probably want to go younger, which makes a lot of sense, but find somebody who has had success as a head coach. And I think North Carolina is in a unique situation, and one of the reasons that it was important for them to go ahead and break ties with Mack this year is that there's really not a lot of competition for P4 openings. I know West Virginia has opened up, but next year it looks like there could be some big names that open up. And so by getting into the mix this year, you may not have your choice, but you're going to have some pretty good options at some of these young up-and-comers who have had success at maybe smaller programs. And I think that's where Bubba's looking.
Greg Barnes, Inside Carolina at GC Barnes 23 on Twitter. It's certainly been a tumultuous time. Favorite thing about the second iteration of Mack Brown for Greg Barnes was what?
I would have to say going to the Orange Bowl. I think that was a big high mark for UNC football, especially after that was just such a bad year for everybody in terms of having to deal with COVID and all that. So
True.
I think that was really the high point, and that clearly was the best team that Mack 2.0 provided.
Greg Barnes, Inside Carolina. I thank you very much, man. I appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
You got it. Greg Barnes here on the Adam Gold Show. When we come back, Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. We will sort the Sunday pile. How many more coaches are likely to get got? What was I trying to say? After Matt Eberflus, we already know the Jets will be looking for a coach, and it ain't going to be the guy that they're using right now because they're a train wreck. But Will Brinson joins us next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Football is on the menu tonight.
Showtime, prime time.
And we're serving up some fresh AFC action.
Hot dog, man.
It's Cleveland and Denver.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Pregame starts at 7:30. Kickoff at 8:15.
Put up or shut up time.
The NFL on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Wake Med.
Here we go.
99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Monday night, you gotta feel it.
Tim Donnelly here for Zero Res to make sure you have the most jolly holiday season possible, because nothing makes us more jolly than a clean home, and Zero Res gets it the cleanest. The Zero Res Gotta Love It guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. That's right, Zero Res absolutely stands behind every cleaning. Call Zero Res right now, 919-995-0000, or go online at ZeroResRaleigh.com and say you want the 99.9 The Fan special. Appointments are filling up fast, so call today and beat the rush.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas. But sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Crabtree Valley Mall, and Carey's Fenton. Also in Rocky Mount and Greenville. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox from my friends at Loan Pronto. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash out in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start for the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you could be credit card debt free. Call 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
This is Adam Gold.
Dan on Twitter, who you got? Robert Plant or Elvis Presley? That is actually very difficult because I don't want to disrespect Elvis Presley. I think it's Elvis. It's very, very close. And that is an incredible question.
The Adam Gold Show.
For what it's worth, I do find it hard to buy the Mack story, the yarn he's spinning from Saturday, but we'll dig into more of it later. I just know enough about the way the university really wanted it to play out and what they were working towards to think that the way Mack is presenting it is exactly the way it happened. We'll get into that more at the top of the hour. Panthers fans, NFL fans, but Panthers fans, I do think you should be excited. It does appear that you have a quarterback at least for the immediate future, meaning the rest of this year and next year and maybe even year 4. And then beyond that, hopefully by the end of next year, we'll get a much clearer picture for what the future is like with Bryce Young at quarterback. Because, again, best case scenario, Bryce shows out, and I think he did. It wasn't all great, but there was a lot really to the good. Buccaneers were a good defense, and you also didn't bother messing up your draft positioning with a win. Best of both worlds. 2 weeks in a row. You played well and lost.
Right? It's like the best case scenario.
That is phenomenal if I'm looking for the future. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. He sorts the Sunday pile there, and he joins us every Monday. How are you, sir?
What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy trails to Mack Brown.
Exactly. Happy trails to Mack
Way to go out on the bottom.
They're bowl eligible. By the way, Freddie Kitchens, legendary Cleveland Browns coach.
Oh, man.
What? He's a former Cleveland Browns coach.
Like
Butch Davis.
He's legendary, too.
It's the second former Cleveland Brown coach who will coach Carolina.
That's right. Butch and Freddie.
Right. And how many times did they try to get Marty Schottenheimer? What is it about Cleveland and the University of North Carolina that just fits? Let's spend a couple of minutes on the Panthers' loss to the Buccaneers, which frankly they should have won. Eddie Pinheiro, so much for being the most accurate field goal kicker in history. He misses 2 kicks he has to make. Then Chuba Hubbard fumbles in overtime after Tampa's guy missed a makeable field goal. But I was impressed with Bryce. Was his best throw the incomplete pass to David Moore?
Or the incomplete pass to Adam Thielen?
Yeah, I mean, it was dropped.
Yeah, I mean, look, there were a lot of drops in that game. Bryce has been, I think, I said this before last Monday, I know, and I think I've been saying it, but and there was a report on Sunday that the Panthers are not going to look for a quarterback early in the draft in 2025, which obviously makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Again, if you can repair those relationships, seen enough out of the Bryce Young out of the last month where you can't help but think, man, they might have something here. I mean, there's already the stuff going around about what if Bryce Young had C.J. Stroud's weapons.
I mean,
insane.
Did I say that last year? Did I not say all last year? They asked a quarterback to come in with a terrible offensive line who couldn't protect him and no weapons, and they expected what? And when people were going bananas over C.J. Stroud, who I still think has not had a good year, but I still think is going to be a very good quarterback, and is a very good quarterback, but has not had a good year, oh my gosh, how did the Panthers possibly do this when 70% of the league was Team Bryce versus Team C.J. Stroud? Like I just said,
well,
we have to consider
Both guys have sort of regressed to the mean a little bit,
Right.
As it turns out, and we didn't like the way that they handled it, and I stand by that take in the sense of how the Panthers decided to pull Bryce Young from the starting lineup after saying he was the guy on Monday, replace him with Andy Dalton for a few weeks. But like the result and the actual sitting of Bryce Young for a few weeks clearly helped just alleviate some pressure mentally for him, whether emotionally too, and sort of reinvigorate him. And he's come back in. He's looked like a completely different quarterback. I mean, he's played really well. Like the ATW text thread was popping off, like rooting for the Panthers. And I think, I was getting texts from my friends who are Panthers fans, a bunch of them. And I think it's like, even if it's just, they're competitive, that matters. Like,
right.
You guys said it right before we came on. Best case scenario, you want to learn how to win these close games. You want to make sure you're not losing. You don't want to lose. But if you're really competitive, if you're taking the Chiefs down to the final play, if you're taking the Bucs, both playoff caliber teams to overtime, and Bryce Young is playing well, and that's some really positive momentum for the future, particularly if you end up with like a top 5 draft pick.
So here's the thing, and I don't want to spend. I want to go on to some other games and other teams, but. And I'm going to expand on some of these things later. But First of all, if Andy Dalton isn't in a car accident, we're not here. We have to admit that.
Yeah.
Dave Canales, I'm positive of this, not that I know for a fact. I just know the way that he talked. The way he talked doesn't belie anybody who was waiting for Bryce to at some point get it.
Right.
If Andy Dalton's not in the car accident and sprains his thumb, Bryce doesn't play either of those two games, and they go back to Dalton. But they decided after a while, I'm like, wait, maybe we saw something and give him another chance. But we would never have been here. And he has, especially the last 2 weeks.
Accidental genius.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a time when he threw the touchdown pass to Thielen to tie the game. There was part of me that when the camera panned to Canales, that he was like, it was a bittersweet moment for him. Because Bryce had led them down the field against a good defense for the second week in a row to put them in a position to maybe win a football game. And Canales is like, man, maybe I was wrong. Maybe the guy can play. So it was part of me about that thought in those terms. But I want to ask you really the question about why on earth do you kick the ball where it's not returnable and give the ball to Tampa at the 30-yard line, knowing they only need 30 yards in 30 seconds to go ahead, or not go ahead. To tie the game,
to send the game to overtime. Yeah,
I mean, why? What?
Yeah,
Buffalo would have been in the Super Bowl had they kicked the ball in the field of play.
Right.
Why didn't Dave Canales do that? On top of the fact that returning it beyond the 30 probably isn't going to happen, I just don't understand why coaches do this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a case of first-year head coach, first-year kickoff rule, maybe not really understanding it, not understanding what to do in the specific moment. And, it is a lot of times those little mistakes that cost you football games and that, puts you in a position where you are, it's a game of inches for a reason, right? I mean, that's why we say it. And these little moments matter a ton. Tampa still could have gotten there, obviously, but you certainly help them. You put them on the 30, and you just got to get a field goal. And McLaughlin's been striping them. I mean, it's an in the moment mistake by a first year head coach for sure.
Yeah. And by the way, not knowing the rule. Not understanding the rule would not be a good excuse for anybody.
No, I'm just saying that's right.
I know what you're saying.
The Dave Canales hype train is back.
Not me.
But again, right. I mean, same here. Let's, I think the coaching in terms of the decision making on the offense and how to me, it's more Bryce Young playing well and kind of elevating the offense, the offensive line playing better, and not so much like Dave Canales has magically fixed everything. Because again, as you point out, he wasn't even going to put Bryce Young back under center until Bryce Young forced his hand.
Andy Dalton would still be playing quarterback if they didn't get into a car accident. All right, Will Brinson, let's get to some other thing. I'll just ask you a question: Philly or Detroit? Who you got in the NFC? Who's the better team?
I still think Detroit, but the injuries are definitely catching up. I mean, the Eagles' defense is playing really well. Has been outstanding. Best defense in football since their Week 5 bye. Shut down the Ravens. Jalen Hurts only needed 100 yards passing. Saquon Barkley with an incredible touchdown run to really seal Offensive Player of the Year since he's not winning MVP.
Right. That's Josh Allen, isn't it?
Yeah, Josh Allen had 2 Heisman moments on Sunday night. It was like Bryce Young. Saquon Barkley's touchdown run was like this, great swing by a welterweight, and then Josh Allen's like, here's 2 uppercuts from prime Mike Tyson. Yeah, I think it's Josh Allen's to lose. I don't think a running back will win it, but yeah, the Eagles are a really good football team.
Yeah.
They are running the football exceptionally well right now. Saquon is a difference maker. This talk about Saquon and Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs and their record with their new team versus the record was the old team.
I know.
The best example I heard about was it's like putting rims on an Escalade. Okay. Those are good teams anyway. And you add a feature, an accoutrement, if you will, to an already good football team. That's where a good running back comes into play. They're not great teams because of those running backs. They have great situations for those running backs to play in. That's what Saquon Barkley's doing. But the Eagles are running the ball more than anyone in the NFL by a mile. I think they're at like 51% rushing, which is insane in 2024.
Right.
They're playing great defense. It really could come down to, can Detroit, and they still have to play the Bills, and the Eagles have a very friendly schedule, albeit one against the Steelers, but can the Lions hold on and get that 1 seed? Because the difference between Jared Goff having to go to Philly to play a physical rushing attack outdoors in January versus the Eagles having to come to Detroit, who gets a bye and maybe gets healthier, because they have a ton of injuries, particularly on defense. Like, that to me is kind of a no bleep Sherlock thing, right? Like, Bills Chiefs probably comes down to who gets that 1 seed. But I think it's like who ends up getting that 1 seed in the conference. It feels like, Adam, we could be headed for, and this is no surprise given how the season has played out, but like an extremely chalky 1-2 matchup in both conference championship games.
I'll take Eagles, Lions, and Bills, Chiefs again.
Yeah.
I'll take both of those games again. That would be fine for me. In one of the great ironic twists of the last decade, is it possible that the Ravens' downfall will actually be their defense? A franchise that their reputation is just let the offense do enough to take advantage of the defense. That defense is going to end their season.
Yeah, and I mean, it's weird too, because they played pretty well in defense for most of the game. Kyle Hamilton gets hurt. That's a big deal. He's one of the top 2 or 3 safeties in the league, if not the best. And they limited largely the passing attack. It felt like the Eagles could have thrown the ball a lot more and like unleashed AJ Brown a little bit more. They didn't really need to. Baltimore, again, I think it's different than in years past, just because of what they have in terms of offensive weaponry. But they're a front runner, and it's okay to be a front runner, right? I mean, the Bengals, not a front runner, right?
No.
I mean, the Chiefs, really not even. The Chiefs can be a front runner, but not. The Ravens are we're going to jump out early, get a lead, and run it down your throat. And Justin Tucker is a problem right now in terms of the kicking game.
He missed 3.
But like the defense is not as good as it has been in years past, and particularly the secondary, very vulnerable. They're a pass funnel if there ever was one. And so you could certainly see, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or even Bo Nix or CJ Stroud take advantage of that in the playoffs. If they get a quarterback who gets really hot against that pass defense, gets a lead on them, can run the football. Like Buffalo, is a problem for Baltimore, in my opinion. The way their defense is playing, you get Matt Milano back.
Yeah.
You have Josh Allen, you have the weapons, enough weapons in the passing game. Amari Cooper kind of, getting in there, getting in the mix a little bit more. And then James Cook and Ray Davis have been great downhill runners. So that team in particular is a problem for Baltimore, and I think Kansas City could be too.
Well, Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Let me go back to Thanksgiving Day and the Bears-Lions game, and this is what gave us the latest NFL job opening at head coach when Matt Eberflus was fired Friday morning. Should have been fired before the press conference. Ryan Pohl should have come out and done the press conference, because I don't know how you can allow 30 seconds to wind off the clock when you've got a timeout left, and you need to pick up some yards, right, to kick. Would it have been a game-winning field goal? Not even a game-tying field goal, right? Or would have tied the game?
Been a game.
I don't even remember. It doesn't even matter to me.
Yeah, it was a game-tying field goal.
Game-tying field goal. So I don't know how you can let 30 seconds run off the clock, snap the ball with 6 seconds left, and then your quarterback is apparently unaware that everything has to be quick, and then go into the press conference and basically say, yeah, I was good with it. Like, are you out of your mind? He had to want to be fired.
I'm okay with the idea, like, we're going to run this play, re-rack the play or whatever he said, run it. But it's like your rookie quarterback just got sacked in a primetime game against a defense that is banged up but is still dangerous.
Right.
Like, what you need to do is hit the pause button, regroup, and at the very least get a field goal attempt off. And I do think, to your point, the double down and kicking of Caleb under the bus, more or less, in that press conference led to the Bears' decision to fire him midseason, first time ever in franchise history. By the way, 3 straight Bears coaches, John Fox and Mitchell Trubisky, Matt Nagy with Justin Fields, and now Matt Eberflus with Caleb Williams, have been given a year or less with the Bears' first-round rookie pick before they fired him, which, good luck with that cycle.
Yeah. I think this quarterback will likely have more staying power than the other two, but it's still a bad look. They could have called a timeout, and even if they picked up the first down on 3rd and whatever, there's 3rd and long.
You've got time to spike it. And
Absolutely, you got time to spike it.
Calling the timeout after the sack is a no-brainer.
And even if you don't have time to spike it, if it's 4th down, because it was 3rd and long, if it's 4th down, you got plenty of time to run your field goal unit out onto the field, because the play will be over with 25 seconds left.
Caleb can't take the sack, but you have to have contingency plans in place in case your rookie quarterback takes a sack in that spot.
So unprepared for everything, which makes me think about the Jets. All right, so let's move to to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, who just figure out ways to win, and apparently they decided to go into the Wayback Machine. Russ, 8 years ago, Russell Wilson. They unleashed an offense. They still have the defense. Cincinnati can score on anybody. And the Steelers now, with the Ravens' loss, have opened up a nice little cushion in the division. They're going to win that division. That is amazing to me.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. I think Mike Tomlin, I wrote about this for CBSSports.com. It's on the site right now, but the coach of the year race is pretty enthralling, I think. Mike Tomlin and Sean Payton should be the two favorites. Tomlin pulled the trigger on moving from Justin Fields to Russ Wilson when the team is 4-2, which is just something you don't see from coaches very often. I didn't think we'd see from Mike Tomlin. He did it. It's worked out great. Russ has been playing really, really good football at times throughout the season, does what Mike Tomlin wants him to do, fits in the offense, unlocks George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth. And then, conversely, the defense is fantastic, and the running game's been much better. Arthur Smith, who's not going to come to Carolina. I don't know why they thought he was a candidate. Because he played there. He played there, and his dad's rich.
If there's
that's a good idea.
If there is ever a university that should go within the family for their next football coach, it's North Carolina, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, I think Arthur Smith's done a pretty good job with this offense so far this season, certainly much better than Matt Canada. And yeah, the Steelers are winning with a little bit of juju, a little bit of magic beans sort of stuff. But there are times where they can look dominant. And if they get to the playoffs, again, I think it's going to be chalky. I think you're going to see the top 2 teams from each conference advance just because it's a layer above everybody else. But if Russ gets hot like he was yesterday, in a defense, they can go. We've seen them beat the Ravens. They can do it. We know they can.
Right.
So yeah, I think the Steelers are that defense, that coach, and can hang with anybody. But yeah, it's Tomlin, Peyton. You throw Harbaugh in there, Dan Campbell, Andy Reid. It's crazy how many Matt LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell. There's some really, really good coaching going on around the NFL right now.
Will Brinson, before we say goodbye, all right, you mentioned Josh Allen might be the MVP. Looks like he's the heavy favorite.
Went from plus 150 to minus 250. So,
because he threw a touchdown pass to himself, and he's so good that he could catch a touchdown pass without catching a ball.
Yeah, the lateral, that's a scoring. It shouldn't take a genius, Garrett Jernigan, to figure out how that scoring works.
Wow.
But I do think that when you have these, it's not even the fact there was this watching, it was just weird brief pause. You could see Amari Cooper being like, should I do this? And Josh Allen be like, yeah, do it. And then he tosses it. And the shot, the photo of Allen leaping into the end zone is just sort of that Heisman moment type of thing. And also helped me defeat Laporta Potties in fantasy this week. So
I had Josh Allen benched because I forgot to set my lineup before Thursday. So yeah,
Mack Brown took down Laporta Potties. How you like me now?
All right, so Amari Cooper had his forward progress stopped. I don't understand why that play continued, but I'm glad it did because it gave us that moment.
And Josh Allen, first quarterback in NFL history to pass for a touchdown, rush for a touchdown, and receive a touchdown in the same game as he stamped his MVP victory.
Unbelievable. All right, Will, next week. I appreciate your time.
All right, see you, buddy.
You got it. Will Brinson here on the Adam Gold Show. Seriously, Amari Cooper's progress was stopped. Why is officiating so difficult in the NFL? He was stood up. He wasn't going anywhere. They blow the whistle on that 1,000. He wasn't even trying. It's like he was done. Blow the whistle. Glad they didn't. All right, one-timers next.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and we've got the NBA on our minds. And FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from who will win the game to how many points a player will score. We got parlays, we got totals, we have everything, player props as well. Plus, you can check out newer bets, number of dunks, assists, three-pointers in the next 3 minutes. My gosh, we're getting specific, aren't we? It doesn't matter if you tap into FanDuel before the game starts or after it's already tipped off. You can pick up a dub whenever, and now's the perfect time to do it. New customers, bet $5, win that bet, get $150 in bonus bets. How about that? FanDuel.com/AGS for your chance to win. Have a ball. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Trust ACT Construction Equipment and Bandit Wood Chippers and Stump Grinders to position your tree service for success. ACT Construction Equipment is your authorized dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals for Bandit Wood Chippers and Stump Grinders. ACT Construction Equipment has been your authorized dealer for Bandit equipment for over 10 years. Visit one of our 6 North and South Carolina locations or actce.com for more details on Bandit Wood Chippers and Stump Grinders. ACT Construction Equipment, always the right equipment for the job.
You wouldn't ask your mechanic to help stage your property for an open house. As NC Realtors, we're experts who make buying or selling property easier for you. Using the latest technology and armed with local insights, our realtors help you find properties you would want to call home. We also know which details make your property more attractive to other buyers. From start to finish, our realtors know. Find out more at ncrealtorsknow.com.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here, but don't worry. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
It's that time of year to come see me. Don't let COVID-19 and the flu stop you. So make sure you don't have to cancel on those you love the most.
By getting your flu and COVID vaccines. They're safe and effective.
Both flu and COVID vaccines have been updated to fight against new virus strains.
So make sure you don't miss that family gathering and protect those around you. Ask your healthcare provider about updated flu and COVID-19 shots.
Get protected this season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today.
AARP is working hard to make sure people in North Carolina are getting the most out of life. Whether it's helping you stay healthy, save more money, care for loved ones, or simply have some fun, AARP is making a difference in communities across the state. You have a wise friend and fierce defender with AARP. Learn more about progress being made for older adults in the state by listening to AARP Without Limits. You can find the latest episodes of AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
This is is Adam Gold.
When the U.S. Space Force plays Air Force in the Military Bowl, then I will recognize the
It'll be out of this world.
The anthem.
Sorry, I had to.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. Next hour, Brett Friedlander. Saturday Down South, ACC columnist. We'll talk about, really, I guess it was a disastrous weekend for ACC football, although Dabo Swinney doesn't believe so. Well, he gets in the conference championship game. Would have been better if you just beaten South Carolina, then I think you would have gotten in the playoff without being in the conference championship game, especially based on everything that happened over the weekend. But anyway, I digress. And let's just go do one-timers.
Okay, well, so this is on a lot of Caniacs' mind.
Okay, the Hurricanes played 3 times since we last spoke.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 and 2.
They did. And they didn't have a lot of great turnouts. One thing that's blaring is the goalie situation.
Right.
So what should they do and what will they do if those are 2 separate answers?
I believe there is a promo running with my thoughts on the goalie situation, which is still appropriate. Pyotr Kochetkov was back on the practice ice today. I would be absolutely stunned if he wasn't the starting goaltender tomorrow night against the Seattle Kraken. And I think he could have played over the weekend, but Rod decided to give him a few more days. Discretion, the better part of valor.
Sorry.
But
I didn't know if you were done.
No, but ultimately, the Hurricanes need a goalie.
Yes.
Because Kochetkov can't play every game. Spencer Martin needs to go back to the American Hockey League and be the emergency goalie, not your backup, who's going to play 40% of the time, because that's probably what the rotation is going to be until Frederik Andersen is available. To me, it's easy. I would go out and find an NHL goalie, but I don't know that they're going to do that.
Now, well, that leads to the next question. Do you see this ownership letting this team that started out so hot kind of fizzle out because they don't want to spend money on a goalie?
It's not about spending money on a goalie. It has nothing to do with that. And that doesn't mean they're going to fizzle out. I think the team, dirty little secret, Pyotr Kochetkov wasn't playing great either. He was occasionally really good, but for the most part, he's been just kind of okay. They can get away with okay goaltending, but it just makes it more problematic as you go forward. They need better. They don't need great. They just need better. They just need an NHL goalie. Spencer Martin is kind of a swing guy. They need him as an emergency, not an option on the NHL roster. 2 out of every 5 games.
Oh, okay, and moving on to college football. So, who do you think should and who likely might take Mack Brown's spot next season?
I have no idea, but I will just throw this out there because I am curious. What would it take to get Shane Beamer from South Carolina? North Carolina was famously very close to Frank Beamer, leaving Virginia Tech, his alma mater, and getting to North Carolina. Very close to that. What would it take to get Shane Beamer to UNC? If I were them, I would be exploring that. But I don't know if I am them.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet. Choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Experience a Raleigh tradition. Head to Emilio's Italian Restaurant, a family favorite for over 60 years. From weekly specials to their famous homemade recipes, Amedio's uses only the freshest ingredients. Need a touchdown for your tailgate? Amedio's offers delicious takeout, perfect for cheering on the Wolfpack. Or they can host your private party. Amedio's even caters. Amedio's Italian Restaurant, Raleigh's Taste of Italy since 1963. Visit AmediosRestaurant.com for details.
Mitchell Heating and Cooling. We do the job right every time.
Mitchell Heating and Cooling is celebrating 51 years of trusted service. And to celebrate, get a furnace tune-up for just $51. That's peace of mind heating for only $51. Visit MitchellHVAC.com. Mitchell Heating and Cooling. Quality products and services on time from a family you trust. It's hard to stop a train.
The best solutions every time.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
If you see a student being bullied, be supportive. Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You'll be an ally and you can make a friend. Friendship! Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com and join Cartoon Network to redraw your world without bullying.
Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I always said for God to tell me when it's time to go, and oh my gosh, this year I've got a bunch of answers. And tonight just piled on, so I said, I got it, God, I've had enough, man, I hear you, with what we're doing moving forward. But what a wonderful life I've had, what a wonderful career I've had, and I'm leaving it better than I found it, and then move forward with it. I told the kids, I'm sure they'll get a great coach. He'll have a better situation than we did with NIL because of revenue sharing. We had about $4 million. He's going to have at least 12. So it'll be 3-4 times much more money for the kids. So that should really help them. And that's the other reason that I think it's a great time for me to get out. This isn't the game that I signed up for.
There's a lot there. Hi, everyone. It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria is here. That was Mack Brown. And I'm not even sure the setting of that conversation. It seemed a little bit more off the cuff for a post-game press conference, but that might have come from post-game. We're going to hear from Dave Doran as well after the Wolfpack got to 6-6, bowl eligibility with the 35-30 come from behind win. It was crazy, crazy game. As this rivalry often is, for years and years, these games were, I remember it was either the first or second State Carolina game I saw. We had a running back playing quarterback for North Carolina. They were out of quarterbacks, and they used a running back and won the game. I think that game was played in Charlotte. I saw a 2-yard Hail Mary by Russell Wilson. I saw NC State score 2 touchdowns inside the last 2 minutes because North Carolina forgot the rules of how the clock runs. I saw Giovanni Bernard return a punt for a touchdown to beat the Wolfpack. We had T.A. McClendon being ruled not in the end zone when he was clearly in the end zone. But that was a game that was not televised. So we were going off a Jumbotron feed. If you weren't lucky enough to be there, I was not lucky enough to be there. But yeah, he was in, and then he wasn't. And then NC State lost the game. It's been a nutty rivalry. It's sort of college football. It just lends itself to nutty finishes. But it was 20-13 entering the fourth quarter. Wolfpack scored 22 points. NC State had a 7-point lead entering the fourth, scored 10 points, and lost. Lost. Hard to believe that you could do that, except college football. And yeah, not the way that Mack Brown wanted to go out. But as we start this conversation here, this is, I guess, our second crack at going through this. Right now, Wolfpack just have a little bit of mojo over North Carolina. I think Dave Doran is 8-4 against the Tar Heels in his state tenure, and he's won the last 4, and it got them bowl eligible.
When I got hired, they didn't say win 6 and go to a bowl. They said whatever you do, beat Carolina. And we did that for the 4th year in a row. And that means a lot. To me, it means a lot to our program. There's a reason I haven't been able to wear blue for 12 years. For real. Like, I'm not allowed to wear the color blue, And so this game is deep. And when I said it's the biggest game of the year, it is the biggest game of the year. And our players know that. Our fans know that. Our administration knows that. And it's meaningful, And I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying that because it's a rivalry. It's the oldest rivalry in the ACC. So don't tell me it doesn't mean more. It does. It means a lot to our fan base and definitely to me as the head football coach. To say that I'm 8-4 now in this rivalry means a lot to me.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to address can't wear blue. In his contract, you can't. I want to know, do jeans... which are generally blue. They don't have to be.
Except mine today are pink.
You're wearing pink jeans. I'm wearing blue jeans.
But usually they're blue. That would be difficult. Blue's a great color.
It is. It's my favorite color.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not. If it was Dave Doran's, it no longer is.
Can't be.
Can he wear blue inside of his own house?
Can't have blue tattoos? You're done. I don't know if he has a tattoo, but...
I don't know. I had not thought about it. I do not have one. Anyway, that's probably not a significant part of that conversation. Look, I get Dave Doran feeling it after the win. It was a significant win. It was the first time... I'm not even sure that NC State did beat a good team. I'm not sure North Carolina's good. I'm totally serious. I realized they had already gotten to 6-5, but I'm not sure they're good. NC State, before Saturday, had yet to beat a good team.
Right.
Just the kind of year that they've had. They certainly do have some good players, though. The Wolfpack have a bunch of good players, as does North Carolina. I'm not knocking either of that. I just don't know if either team is honestly any good. So 6-6, they're going to a bowl game. Carolina's going to a bowl game, and yeah, they have won 4 in a row. Now, the real meaty part of yesterday or rather Saturday, was Mack Brown coming out in the press conference after the game and saying that I was going to retire.
And all I wanted to do was wait till the end of the year. And they wanted me to retire on Monday before the state game. We hadn't beaten state. It was really important for these kids to play well tonight and have a chance to win. I didn't want to break their hearts on Monday, so I said, no, I won't do that. And then they wanted me to do it on Friday. Well, I sure wasn't going to do it Friday before the game. You're 24 hours from a game, and you're disrupting their entire lives and coaches, because 71 people in this building have a different situation than they had last week. So I felt like that the thing I said is, I'll talk to you tonight after the game about it, or I'll talk to you Sunday morning. And I don't know what the difference in Monday and Saturday night would have been.
Okay. All right, so according to Mack Brown, he had every intention to retire. The university obviously thought otherwise.
Yeah. Even though he mentioned after the last weekend's game, he was going to stay for another season.
He had been telling people during the previous week. This is how the reports came out, right? Mm-hmm. Because I remember seeing it and going, yeah, not ideal. This is not the way it was supposed to go. I basically said they're going to make the university fire him, which I think was kind of the plan. So Mack wants us to believe that he had every intention to retire. Okay. Did the university know that? Because if the university knew that, there is zero, if you're watching on YouTube, I am putting a circle above my right eye. Zero chance that the university would have fired Mack Brown if they knew that he was coming back, that he was going to retire today. Zero chance. So, without saying Mack is trying to make us believe a fabricated story, I will just say that, well, maybe you should have communicated that to the university. Because if you did tell Bubba Cunningham, hey, Bubba, disregard what you have heard, what you heard me say. I'm saying that so as to not lose recruits that you were about to lose anyway, that I will retire Monday morning. If Bubba Cunningham knew that, the university would not have fired Mack Brown last week. No chance. Because that's a PR disaster they don't want to fight. Not to mention the fact that there's already members of the Board of Trustees or Board of Governors, I don't know the difference between the two, who don't like Bubba Cunningham to begin with. And as soon as the news came out that UNC was firing Mack Brown, those people on the Board of Trustees / governors, whoever they are, were livid, and they demanded an investigation. So why would Bubba want that smoke if he knew Mack was going to retire anyway? So I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, but I'm not buying it. And if you go back to when Mack left the first time, after taking the Texas job, which, by the way, everybody would take 100 times in a row over the UNC football job. Everybody. There isn't a soul, if given the two options, would take North Carolina over Texas. That's not a knock on North Carolina. Texas is one of those college football places. So Mack, who had been very successful at UNC, saw the unbelievable deep pockets of the University of Texas and the potential there, and went on to win a national championship. Took a while, but he did it. they spun a tale about Dick Bedore screwing it up and leaving Mack no choice. So what does that do? That actually sabotages UNC, because now it's out in the ether that a great coach left because the AD was incompetent. And what's happening now, based on what Mack said, is that, man, why would I work there? You're not going to get supported by the athletic director. So you're making it more difficult, theoretically, for the next hire. None of that sits well with me. None of it. It's just bad. It's just a bad thing to do. And I'm not editorializing that. I'm not saying that Mack did this intentionally to make himself feel better. But I do believe that Mack, in his heart, wanted to come back. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I believe in his heart he wanted to come back.
Yeah, it didn't look like he ever wanted to leave.
And what did Bomani tell us 2 weeks ago? Gonna have to be dragged out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way. I mean, that's the way it was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't leave because he was retiring. They retired him. And North Carolina, honestly, and this is the way I understood the entire process. And this is not inside information. But I've had enough people who do know tell me that I was right. That they really wanted last year to be the last year. They wanted Mack Brown to retire last year. Retire. Like, air quotes, whatever. Retire last year. And they wanted him to retire this year. But their understanding was he wasn't intending to retire. So they did what they felt they had to do. Just like, and I brought this up last week, just like Duke had to do what Duke had to do in fire arguably the best coach they've ever had over an extended period. Spurrier was only there 3 years. David Cutcliffe did amazing work at Duke. And Mike Elko and now Manny Diaz are honestly reaping the benefits of what David Cutcliffe was able to do. Hopefully there's enough of a foundation. I believe there is. Mack did a great job coming back. He deserves all of the flowers for restoring North Carolina football to prominence, at least within the state, even though they didn't win enough games. And I do think that there is a tremendous foundation from which to build. Now they got to go and get the right coach. And I don't think Mack's latest revisionist history framing of his exit, I don't think it will stick. But maybe it's cathartic for him. I don't know. But none of that sat well with me at all. All right, one quick thing before we break. Brett Friedlander is going to join us on the other side because ultimately, after last week, you might remember this conversation. After last week's college football weekend, whatever weekend it was in the college game, everything was lining up to get the ACC 3 teams in the playoff. Everything. Miami had 1 loss. All they got to do is go to Syracuse and win that game. Then they and SMU would each have 1 loss, play for the conference championship. The winner was going, and the loser was probably also going. And Clemson had 2 losses, looked like they were playing great. South Carolina at home, win that game. You were already in fairly good spot. You were like the last team in. But you win that game, you got 2 losses. Your resume's better than Indiana's. You're going to go. Well, funny thing happened. Miami blew a 21-0 lead at Syracuse and lost. Clemson, with the ball in their hands in the red zone with, just 20-some-odd seconds left on the clock, had Cade Klubnik throw an interception so they don't even get the game-tying field goal and take their chances in overtime and end up losing at home to South Carolina. So, Clemson, you're out, except maybe not. Miami, because you lost, you're out, except I'm not sure why. But right now, the ACC is staring at maybe 2, but likely 1. Well done. Very go ACC moment for the league this weekend. All right, when we come back, Brett Friedlander, Saturday Road, ACC columnist, joins us. I'm sorry, Saturday Down South. Used to be Saturday Road, now Saturday Down South. There's been an acquisition, and we will talk to Brett Friedlander next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Keep pounding. Panther Talk. Panthers Playbook. The Paw Print. Follow your Carolina Panthers all season with us.
Tampa brings 4. Young backpedals, steps up. He'll run for it. He's got the 10. Near side 5. Toward the pylon. Touchdown, Bryce Young.
Your home for complete Carolina Panthers coverage. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I call games in Seattle and around the country, but I still spend a lot of time right here in the Triangle. When I'm here to see my family around the holidays, we always head to Buffalo Brothers. It's my go-to spot for stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby. Visit any of their 5 locations at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Did you know that Bailey's Fine Jewelry has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for luxury designers, fine diamonds, and watches, but we also have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. We're celebrating making holiday gifting easy since 1948. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, and Greenville to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Homeowners, listen up. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. The Fed has dropped, election is over, and Loan Pronto has APRs in the low 5s for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans. If your current mortgage rate is over 6% or you are in process with another lender, don't settle. Call Loan Pronto now for a second opinion. Lock in a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. And if you act now, you won't make your first payment till February. This 5-minute call saves homeowners an average of $5,000. Lower rates and lower fees. Get your Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Loan Pronto, call 919-381-1760 or loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics at soundedouttogether.org. Brought to you by Pivotal Ventures.
This is Adam Gold.
Home runs are homers, not dingers, not jacks, not bombs. Can I use tater?
No. Can we say going yard?
Oh, yes.
Right?
If we can't exaggerate, if we can't use colorful, flowery metaphors and descriptions, why are we here?
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. So, a week ago, with things that happened around the college football universe, it looked like, man, the ACC was set up. And then, for a while, Friday night, it looked like Georgia Tech was going to prove that it wasn't a bad loss that Miami suffered, that it was actually an understandable one, because they were taking it to Georgia. And then they stopped taking it to Georgia, and ultimately Georgia took the game in, I hate calling it overtime. They really won in penalties more than they won in overtime, but it took 6 rounds of the 2-point conversions to separate those two teams. Georgia ultimately winning it. I think it was 42-4, 44-40. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a lot. And then Miami lost at Syracuse and Clemson lost at South Carolina. And then we went lowercase, go ACC. Brett Friedlander, Saturday Down South, ACC columnist, joins us on the Adam Gold Show. All right, my friend. It looked like going in on Friday night at about 10 o'clock, I thought, my gosh, this is going to be some weekend. And then it went the other way. Your level of optimism that we're going to see more than one ACC team in the field coming next Sunday night?
Well, it depends who wins Saturday night. Because if Clemson wins, I think it's a lock that the ACC gets 2 teams.
A lock?
A lock.
A lock.
Because I think...
Okay, I hope you're right.
Because I think SMU in this week's poll is going to flip spots with Miami and be number 6.
Okay.
If that happens, I cannot see them losing a championship game and getting knocked down 7 spots and out of the playoff. So even if they're at number 7, they're going to be far enough into the top 12 that I don't think a loss is going, especially a loss to another ranked team, is going to knock them out. Now, if SMU wins, you've got issues because it is all going to depend on where they slot Miami on Tuesday. If Miami is still within the top 12 going into the weekend and not playing, that's a good thing. But it's not a guarantee.
No.
But I think that there's a chance, but I think there's a better chance of Clemson. Well, I think it'll definitely happen if Clemson wins. If SMU wins, it's up to the whim of the committee, and we know what their history is.
So I had an online conversation with somebody who fancies himself a knower of things, and I'm not saying that this person is wrong, but who told me that when I look at Indiana, this is what I'm saying, I see an absolute fraud. I'm not saying that they're not good, but the only way that you put Indiana in the field based on their record versus who they played, because they played 3 teams. No, I'm sorry, Penn State played 3 teams. Indiana played, I think, beat 2 teams with a winning record.
Yeah.
Right?
Clemson's only beaten 1, by the way.
No, I'm not. By the way, I am not lobbying for Clemson. They had their opportunity, and they blew it, and now they'll have to win their way in. If they win Saturday, they're in. There's just no other way around it. They win the ACC. But had they been 10-2, had they beaten South Carolina, I think you could make a great argument that Clemson goes in over Indiana, and I did last week. I wouldn't make that argument now. Had Miami not lost to Syracuse, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. Clemson would be not even a question out of the field. But I don't get Indiana with no credentials, no good wins, legitimately no good wins.
And the
how
Ohio
they would
State
get in.
loss becoming even worse now because of the loss to Michigan.
Yeah, the Ohio State thing is more curious to me because I think the entire Big Ten is relatively fraudulent. I think Oregon is great, but again, I'm not sure they played anybody good in that league. Ohio State's offense never came around. At any point this season, Ohio State's offense, it just never looked right.
What kind of a dagger was it, too, by the way, that they lost to Michigan? And about the same time, the quarterback that they let walk out the door, actually they pushed out the door last year, took down Miami and is leading the country in passing.
I mean, that was, but like they tried, Michigan tried to not lose.
Yeah.
Right? Michigan almost actively tried to not lose that game and still won it on the road. Michigan wasn't very good. I mean, I understand why they weren't very good. So many of the players are in the NFL now, and their head coach, who is one of the greatest head coaches we've seen in the last 20 years in college football, or in the NFL for that matter, is now coaching back in the league. So I get why Michigan had a rough season, but Ohio State did nothing that they were supposed to do this year. Yet, based on Penn State having a great record without beating anybody, Penn State beat 3 teams with a winning record this year. Nobody better than 7-5. Nobody. I don't understand Penn State's value. I just don't get it. No, Illinois is 9-3. My fault for to me Illinois is a fairly average team, but that's the best team that they have beaten. I don't get the love for Penn State. I'm not saying that they're not good, but I don't get third in the country. I don't get that. And that's Ohio State's win.
Yep.
Right there. That's the one win.
Michigan's AD is the committee chairman, right? And they've got a very active propaganda arm. So
yeah, they do.
That's it. And by the way, you talk about Ohio State. I think the fact that their coach is going to get fired if they don't win the national championship, if they lose the national championship game on the last play of the game, he's getting fired because he can't beat Michigan. And that should say something about the quality of the Big Ten.
I don't, for the life of me, I don't get it. So if you were Jim Phillips, what would you be out saying right now? How would you lobby for, like, especially because I'm not necessarily on the same page with you, Brett Friedlander, Saturday Down South ACC columnist at BFriedACC on Twitter. We need to get you on Blue Sky. We need more people.
I already am.
Okay.
I am.
No, so
still BFriedACC.
All right, good. I'll find you on Blue Sky, and they'll have more people in the community to discuss things with, because it's a little lonely during college football Saturdays over there.
Yep.
If you were Jim Phillips, how do you sell? Because I don't agree. I don't think it's a lock that SMU stays in the field with a loss on Saturday night to Clemson. What would you be screaming about right now?
Well, I would be screaming that their only other loss is to a ranked power conference team, BYU, and it came in a game before they put Kevin Jennings at quarterback, who absolutely ignited that offense. I would do that. I would also say that the only other loss is to a conference champion. And I would also be banging the drum that, Miami's 2 losses have come against Syracuse, a ranked team with the nation's best passing offense.
9-3.
And to a Georgia Tech team that, until Greg Sankey called out all his chips and gave Georgia a little help there in the fourth quarter to get into overtime, took Georgia to the penalty kick shootout. So, and oh, by the way, you want to talk about ESPN ratings, because that's what we're talking about last year with Alabama getting in instead of Florida State. Hey, Cam Ward's going to drive ratings. So I would be out there banging all of those drums and hoping for the best.
So Miami played Florida, beat Florida like a drum.
That's their best win.
Right? That is their best win, unless Duke is their best win. I don't get why Duke's not ranked at 9-3 based on the season that they've had against the schedule that they had to play.
Well,
they played
to
a pretty
quote
decent.
Pete Gillen, Duke is Duke.
Yeah, in
it's a basketball school.
In basketball, look, They beat Florida. They beat Virginia Tech. Ended up a bowl team. They beat Louisville. They beat Duke. I don't. for the life of me, don't understand. Those are good wins. Their 2 losses, Georgia Tech and Syracuse, I think look pretty good.
Hey, by the way, put Duke's resume up against Illinois' resume and tell me
or
who you
Indiana's.
like. And Indiana's. and think about this. If Duke converts one of those 6 turnovers against SMU,
make 2 field goals.
That's a 10-win season, and you got 2 losses in the ACC. I don't know what the tiebreakers would look like, but they'd be in the running for the championship game.
It's all insane. I just don't share your same level of confidence that if Clemson beats SMU, that we're just not going to see one ACC team. Let me.
The caveat to that, though, is if they lose to Clemson, it needs to be a close game. If they get blown out by Clemson, then all bets are off.
I don't know that Clemson is capable of blowing anybody good out. When they played NC State earlier this year, NC State was far from good. I'm not sure they're good now. But it does lead me back to this game, State and Carolina. What do you make of Mack Brown's comments after?
Well, he took the high road. That's all I have to say
Did
about
he?
that, because he was seething. Well, yeah, because basically he said, "Hey, I agree with the with administration that there needs to be a change." So I mean, he could have really gone scorched earth.
Well,
okay?
he sort of did
really,
by saying I was going to retire Monday, which, man, it's kind of hard to believe that if he was going to retire Monday that he would have not told them that.
Yeah, and by the way, he came out the previous Thursday saying, I want to come back. I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he tried to soften the blow, I guess, and make it look like that it was his decision. But, hey, listen, it was ugly. It was ugly before. It was ugly on the field. It was ugly after the game, and when they tried to plant the flag and everything. And oh, by the way, when did that start being a thing? Because it needs to stop.
Well, you know, I don't have a problem with planting a flag, especially when you're on artificial turf and you can't actually plant it. So I don't know that I saw anybody from NC State actually trying to plant the flag. I saw the end of the Michigan game. I thought there was more waving than anything else. There was
also pepper spray in that one.
Was there pepper? Oh, that's right. There was pepper spray. Lovely. Not a fan of pepper spray. I hope it probably shouldn't have been necessary. But if you win, I think you earned the right. Especially you win a rivalry game on the road, wave your flag. That's fine. I got no problem with it. If you lose that game, maybe you just walk off the field.
Yeah.
It just seems like, we should just be able to do that. And then we have these dumb conversations about planting a flag. I actually do remember Baker Mayfield, when he was in Oklahoma, actually trying to plant the flag on an artificial turf field, like trying to drive it into the turf. And I'm like, you were not on academic scholarship, Baker. That is Brett Friedlander, Saturday Down South, ACC columnist at BFried ACC. Also on Blue Sky. I will go follow you, sir. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, Adam. Thanks.
You got it. Brett Friedlander here on the Adam Gold Show. Real quick about the flag planting. I got zero problem with it. Part of the pageantry, I'm not going to say the allure of college football, but and I'll broad brush this about college football and college basketball, because I think these two conversations are identical. If we were simply looking at the games being played, college football and college basketball, 80% of the time, suck. The games are no good. The players aren't good enough. The shooting isn't good enough in basketball. The passing isn't good enough. The play calling isn't good enough in football. It's just not. Tackling isn't good enough. It's a lesser brand of football. It's a lesser brand of basketball, judged against the very best. That's all it is. We shouldn't be afraid to say that. But, and I've argued this all the time, the NBA and the NFL is plastic to me. There's no soul in an NFL game. There's no soul. There's no environment in an NBA game. None. So if you're looking for the aesthetics of the game itself, then you want to watch the pros. And there are people who believe that. They're looking for the best form of the game. That's the professional game in both cases. But if you want the environment, the atmosphere, the unpredictable nature of all of it, then the college game is what you want. Pro game can't match it at all. Just using my own experience. I used to be a season ticket holder, my family, to Jets games. I hate going to NFL games. Hate it. I will go to a college football game. Haven't been in a while. Otherwise kind of busy.
Mm-hmm.
But a college football game is a billion times more enjoyable than a pro football game. The atmosphere sells. And part of that atmosphere is not the lead up, not only the lead up, not only the bands at halftime, which I think are great for college football.
I know. I'm biased as a former band nerd.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, we used to, like the halftime shows in college games, used to feature, hey, we're going to get a medley from each school's band.
Yeah.
And if you go to HBCU games, you get it.
Yeah.
And you get a show. But there's something cool about dotting of the I in the Ohio State Marching Band.
I know.
Or listening to Southern Cal's band play Fight On.
The Super Bowl should totally inherit that too, by the way.
Well, they did. They started
Having a
out that way.
halftime show. Because some of these picks they're making these days. Oh,
I don't know, man. We know
this year's going to be Kendrick Lamar, which no shade on him, but
no good. He was part of the one that was in L.A. a few years ago. That was an incredible halftime show. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the halftime shows. So, but it used to be band related. But I cannot for the life of me understand why, again, nobody's planting the flag. Why waving the flag? Uh-oh.
We have some breaking news.
I don't even know what this breaking news is.
Oh, boy.
Break me. Is it good?
Well, no.
No.
It involves my former school, App State. Sean Clark is out. He has been let go.
They had a bad year.
They did.
They had a bad year.
They did. Great guy, but yeah, they didn't.
I love Sean Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know enough about the decision. I don't know enough about the ins and outs of what they asked him to do that maybe he decided he didn't want to do. Sometimes they tell you got to fire assistants. He didn't want to do that. I get it. So I'll just say this. It's a cautionary tale. I criticized East Carolina, and at some point we're going to talk to Blake Harrell, the new coach at East Carolina, and we'll do that soon. But I criticized ECU for, if this is the reason they hired him, don't let the current players make your decision. Don't do that. Is a poor reason to make your decision. If you think he is the best person for the job, by all means, I got zero problem with it. Like, Dabo Swinney was a wide receivers coach at Clemson. They fired Tommy Bowden. Dabo Swinney is one of the best college football coaches of this era. So I hope that Blake Harrell works out and that they hired him for the right reasons. It does appear that they were swayed by the opinions of the players, which, bad idea. There's another cautionary tale with Sean Clark. And I understand why universities do this, but it rarely pans out. When you are a school like App or a school like Duke, where you are really, for many coaches, a means to an end, The last thing you should ever do, ever, is hire somebody you believe is going to stay long term. Sean Clark's a Mountaineer, right? He's one of them.
He is.
Theoretically, he doesn't want to go. That's great until it turns out to not be.
Yeah.
Right?
And for anybody who's wondering what the record was, their season was 5-6, and he was 40-24 in 6 years. Just in case anyone was curious.
40-24 is pretty good.
I know.
And they started off great. Actually, I think the first year wasn't quite as good, but they have been good. So this is the first bad year they've had in a while.
Right. And they had some things going on out there this year too. So
100%. But they were struggling before
they were.
Helene
hit
the area. App, like most schools, should be looking to hire a coach every 2 or 3 years. Not that you fire a coach. You should hire a coach that somebody else hires away from you. That's what you should be trying to do. So there's 2 ways of doing it. It's either that way, or you hire a coach who is basically on his last job. Hire a coach who's, man, I'm going to give you 5 years, and then I'm going to retire here in Seven Devils. I think that's a town in between Asheville and Boone. I'm going to retire out here. I'm going to retire in Black Mountain. I'm going to retire in Hendersonville, whatever. Because the mountains are the most beautiful part of the state of North Carolina. Sorry, I love you and the beaches too. But given the option,
oh yeah,
I'm going up the hill.
Absolutely,
100 times in a row.
Everything's a postcard.
So, if I were App State, my next hire, and I hate the fact that they fired Sean Clark. Kind of felt that this was going to be coming. If I'm App, the next coach I hire, my anticipation is I've got 2 years with him before somebody else hires him away.
Yeah.
You have to take that approach. If you don't, I think you're selling your own program short.
Jerry Moore days are over.
Yeah, but the Jerry Moore thing was, at the FCS level, it's easier to keep a coach long term.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's just easier to keep a coach long term. And plus, he was already older.
College football looked totally different, though, back then, too. So it's a different day.
Who knows what it's going to look like 5 years from now.
Yes.
That's a bummer to hear about Sean Clark. I don't even remember what my thought process was earlier, but it doesn't matter. We're going to come back. We are going to stretch, and we are going to place bets. Can't remember the last one I won. Next.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here. But don't worry, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
It's that time of year to come see me. Don't let COVID-19 and the flu stop you. So make sure you don't have to cancel on those you love the most.
By getting your flu and COVID vaccines. They're safe and effective.
Both flu and COVID vaccines have been updated to fight against new virus strains.
So make sure you don't miss that family gathering and protect those around you. Ask your healthcare provider about updated flu and COVID-19 shots.
Get protected this season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today.
You wouldn't ask your mechanic to help stage your property for an open house. As NC Realtors, we're experts who make buying or selling property easier for you. Using the latest technology and armed with local insights, our Realtors help you find properties you would want to call home. We also know which details make your property more attractive to other buyers. From start to finish, our Realtors know. Find out more at ncrealtorsknow.com.
AARP is working hard to make sure people in North Carolina are getting the most out of life. Whether it's helping you stay healthy, save more money, care for loved ones, or simply have some fun, AARP is making a difference in communities across the state. You have a wise friend and fierce defender with AARP. Learn more about progress being made for older adults in the state by listening to AARP Without Limits. You can find the latest episodes of AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe that getting to know you is the best way to protect what you love most. We have friendly agents in every county to help you prepare for the unexpected. And when life doesn't go as planned, our award-winning claims team will be with you every step of the way. Find a local agent today at ncfbins.com. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
As you go about your daily life, look closer. As you gather with family and friends, look closer. Right in your community, there are youth who don't have the home, warmth, and healing you have. So, look closer. Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Tonight, 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed. And tomorrow, they will wake up surrounded by love. Every youth who walks into Covenant House gets clean clothes, hot meals, medical care, and a safe place to sleep 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in sites across America to help them fulfill the great promise of their lives. So, look closer at Covenant House and help us fight youth homelessness. To help or get help, go to covenanthouse.org.
This is Adam Gold.
When the U.S. Space Force plays Air Force in the Military Bowl, then I will recognize the
It'll be out of this world.
The anthem.
Sorry, I had to.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. So here's Sean Clark's career at App. He won the bowl game, by the way, the year Eli Drinkwitz left after one season. And this is what happened. Remember Scott Satterfield left for Louisville, right? He was one of theirs, too. He left for Louisville. Then Eli Drinkwitz left NC State as the offensive coordinator, went to App. Had 1 year. They won 12 games. They went 12-1. Won the conference. He left for Missouri. They hired Sean Clark because they didn't want to keep hiring coaches. Fundamental error right there. When you're the AD at a place like that, and I think Doug Gillen does an amazing job at App, but this to me was a mistake. I think I said it at the time. Your job as an AD at those schools is to constantly be on the lookout for the next coach. Because if you do your job right, you're going to need that coach sooner than you expect. You hire the right person, he does well, she does well, and they leave for a better job. And so you just go out and you get the next coach that you are going to have to replace. Can it be exhausting? Yes. But that is the way you should do it at those schools. Unless you're going to find one guy who's taking his last job but has been there and done that before. So we'll see where App goes going forward. It's time to stretch.
Well, going forward from here, I don't know if you know this, but it's December now.
I've heard.
You were gone and we switched the months around. So now we started a new month. Can you believe this? We're going to be saying 2025 in like 4 weeks, which I'm not going to remember that. So we'll wait till February. But some things that you can look forward to in the month of December. Love looking at these. We have plenty of football and NHL games. That's going on. Also, college football's bowl games start the 14th of this month. And if you like the NBA Cup, the second annual NBA Cup tournament runs through December 17th. So there's that too. Also, in the theaters, if you like to go, some people like to go to the movies around Christmas time. So
we say theater.
Theater.
We don't.
No. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is coming out.
Wow.
Mufasa the Lion King, because we need more Lion King movies, is also the 20th. On Christmas Day, if you like a little spook with your Christmas, Nosferatu is going to be out, so there's that. And on TV, we're going to have the Christmas tree lighting, the National Christmas Tree Lighting, December 20th. And have you ever watched Squid Game?
No.
Well, the second season of that is coming out the day after Christmas. I have, and it's just crazy. Squid Game is crazy, but I will be watching that for sure. Also, something that you might want to do today is eat your leftovers from Thanksgiving, because USDA is saying that today should officially be the last day to eat your leftovers before they go bad.
Are you a Thanksgiving leftover person?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Have you had a turkey sandwich after turkey or after Thanksgiving or no?
I have not made it into a sandwich. It's just been more of the same.
Okay.
On a plate.
Yeah, well, that's also fair. We did that too. Yeah. But I have the quintessential turkey sandwich. I'll tell you later. We don't have time for it now.
Oh, nice. I'm sure that Michael Felder would have a great one with his English muffins. But if you were wondering, they advise you not to do the smell test, which I also did grow up using. They say it's not a good way to go about it. So eat at your own risk if you decide to wait until after today. But the one thing they say is okay to keep eating after today is homemade cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Or the canned stuff they say could last up to 2 weeks in your
fridge.
Don't
eat
2
the
years.
Canned stuff. Don't. I'm begging you. Don't eat the canned stuff.
I mean, yeah, so to each their own. But there you go. If you have any questions about dinner, that's what it should be. If you have questions about bets, we might have the answers.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Yeah. Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
My wife has an incredible homemade cranberry sauce recipe.
Ooh, I've done that before. It's a lot of work.
It actually isn't as much work
for
her, but it's really good to the point where it's the dressing on my turkey sandwich.
Nice.
It is really
good.
good.
Yeah, homemade cranberry sauce is delicious.
Much better than the stuff
the jiggly stuff with
comes
the
out
ridges.
of a can. I hate it. I hate that. I would never eat it.
All of that, yes.
All right, you should go first.
All football, all day for me. Cleveland Browns are in Denver taking on the Broncos. I don't like to support Sean Payton, but I think the Broncos are going to win this one. And I think Bo Nix is going to be an anytime touchdown scorer. So give me him plus 310.
All right. I have a 3-leg parlay for the football game we're going to get to. Let's just do it right now since who knows how much time we're going to have. Jameis Winston, at least 1 touchdown pass. Nick Chubb, at least 50 yards rushing. Bo Nix, 25 or more rushing yards. That, all 3 plus 315.
Okay, nice. Well, just in case we don't get to it, I'm taking the Broncos, like I mentioned. And you know what? I'll take the over, because why not? It's set at 41.5. That together is plus 150.
All right. Devils are at Madison Square Garden to take on the Rangers tonight. Devils are minus money on the road. Rangers are actually getting... they're actually now it just dropped to plus 100. Now it's plus 102. Give me the Rangers and under 6.5 goals. Rangers and under 6.5. I have one more. I'll tell you later.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Are you in charge of running the building maintenance plays at your workplace? If you're facing roofing issues, you gotta get RoofWorks into the game. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. You can count on us to be your MVP when it comes to taking care of your commercial building roof. We handle leaky roof repair, coatings, total replacements, upfits, and we even do commercial gutters. Let us show you what a valuable addition we are to your building maintenance team. Contact us today online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bowberry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bow-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bow time.
A new game has landed in North Carolina. Officials are calling this new species of game Cash Pop. So easy to play, it's out of this world. Reports confirm you just pick and match one number to win up to $2,500. With 5 drawings every day, cash landings have been cited across the state. So be on the lookout for Cash Pop from the North Carolina Education Lottery. The wins are out there. Must be 18 to play. See Cash Pop prize and odds chart at nclottery.com for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. This holiday season, why not give a gift that truly shines? At Bailey's, we believe in making every moment special, and our carefully curated selection of fine jewelry is sure to bring joy to your loved ones. From stunning diamonds to designer jewelry and luxury watches, we have the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Gift the magic of a Bailey box and make this Christmas unforgettable. Visit us today in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, and Greenville. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Fruitcake! You shouldn't have. Wow, a candle.
Spread joy, not junk, with the Autobell Car Wash Holiday Sale. Visit Autobell to buy 1 Super Poly Process Wash and get one 40% off.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This Black Friday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for Watch and Tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This is the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
3rd and 2, the snap goes awry. The ball loose on the field. There's a flag down as well. It's scooped up underneath, I believe, by Nick Bolton, but did the play stop before it started? There are flags down. The ball caroms away from Aiden O'Connell, and the officials are going to back up and try to sort out this mess. Andy Reid on the field with his palms extended, saying, what's going on? What happened, you hear Andy Reid say. You hear the official coming over saying, I don't know, which is a bad sign.
It is a bad sign. That was the way the Raiders and Chiefs ended. Was the Black Friday game? Yeah, that was the Black Friday game.
Yeah.
That was the game, the way the Raiders and Chiefs ended.
Dumb game.
Chiefs should have lost. The Raiders were in field goal range already.
Yep.
And the guy snapped it when Aiden O'Connell was not ready. And, yeah, it was. If you watch that game, Patrick Mahomes on the sideline before the fumble was shaking his head. You could tell there was like a pit in his stomach because, man, we are going to lose to that team. And we had no business losing to that team. And then that fumble happened, which was, due to nothing that the Chiefs did.
No, they fell into a win.
Right.
Again.
100%. The Raiders were going to have to make the field goal, but it was a very makeable field goal.
Yeah.
And you could see Mahomes on the sideline. The camera went to him, and he went, "Can you believe this bleep?
Did that just happen?
Could you believe this bleeping? And he bleep, bleep, bleep." Yeah. We won another game. Like at least they blocked the field goal against Denver.
Yeah.
Where they were going to lose.
Right.
At least they blocked it.
Effort. No,
They didn't
not
have
here.
to do anything here. They just had to be in the right spot to
Not
fall
with
in the
the
fumble.
Raiders.
Man, that was. I will say that the whistle definitely blew before that play was over, and I thought they were going to get an illegal motion, which is you can't do anything about that. That's illegal motion. That kills the play before it happened. But what they called was an illegal shift because there were multiple players moving at the same time in the backfield. The line was okay. But in the backfield, there were multiple players moving at the same time. Anyway,
wow,
that was just the way that the
what a weird
Chiefs
game.
managed
Again
to win a game. They are 11-1 thanks to that.
It's so see, and that's the thing is, I don't really care one way or another about the Chiefs. It's not that I don't like them. It's not that I do like that. They are what they are. Mahomes is fun. Andy Reid is fun. But this is just annoying. Like, seeing them win these games like this is just getting so annoying.
I will just say that ultimately it catches up.
Yes.
It does. It will absolutely catch up.
Yeah.
Even if Kansas City is playing at home, I think it will catch up. Here's the one thing I will use as a caveat. Andy Reid's still the best coach in the game.
He is.
And even though he's not having a great year, and he didn't last year, Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So when you've got the best coach and the best quarterback and a great defense.
And a horseshoe somewhere stuffed.
No question. You generally run into better good luck.
Yes.
It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying that the Patriots won a lot of games in that fashion because off the top of my head, I can't remember too many times where, how did you not lose that game?
Yeah.
Right? They did put themselves in positions where they were able to come back or their defense just was so good you just couldn't score on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Chiefs' defense is quite as good as a lot of those Patriots' defensive teams were. But, man, when you've got the best coach and the best quarterback and at least a very good defense, it covers a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
It covers a lot of mistakes. So, yeah, that was a wild ending to that game.
What a crazy weekend of football.
It really was. It was nutty, whether it was Thursday, the Bears refusing to win.
Yeah.
Refusing to win, and Matt Eberflus justifiably getting fired the next day. Should have gotten fired before the press conference.
Last season.
My gosh.
He should have been fired before this season started, but...
Oh, you believe so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
Yes.
I'm not arguing with you.
Oh, yeah.
They chose to go with Matt Eberflus in the first year of Caleb Williams. maybe it'll be better in year 2, like it has been for the Panthers and Dave Canales.
Maybe that's what they wanted, was just to say, okay, Caleb, this is what a garbage coach looks like. Now we'll bring in one that's maybe better.
So,
who knows? We'll see. The Bears do a lot of what the Panthers do. I've noticed.
In terms of nurturing quarterbacks, yes, there is a similarity
all things
between the two. So, yes, it was a strange football weekend. Our friend Chris McLean, Mack from Mack and Bone, tweeted out during the Panthers game when the Panthers had a 3rd and 4 and ran the ball and then lined up and kicked a short field goal. That was the first field goal, I believe. And McLean was like, why would you run the ball if you're just going to kick the field goal? You run it because you know you're going for it. And my response to him was simply, this is why I am more in on Bryce than I am the head coach.
Right.
Because the head coach still kind of doesn't really do a lot of great things. Although maybe it all has a reason, and I'm not going to ignore that he might be right. For instance, why did you kick the ball into and basically out of the end zone?
Right.
30 seconds are on the clock. If I force you to bring the ball out of the end zone, if I force you to return it, or allow you to fair catch it inside the 20, you get the ball at the 20, not the 30. But by kicking it out of the end zone, I am giving you the ball with 30 seconds left. I am giving you the ball knowing that you need 35 yards in 30 seconds. It's 2 plays.
It's easy.
Two plays on your defense, which ain't good. No matter how well it might have played for the most part. I wouldn't have done that.
And they're down a ref, too.
Right, they were down a ref. I would have basically forced them to either fair catch it in the field of play so no time runs off the clock, but you'd be at the 20 as opposed to the 30, or I would have let him return it because the clock runs. Ask Sean McDermott if it's important to have the clock run. So I didn't get that. Forget about the play calling. Forget about the Tampa wasn't really allowing you to run the ball all that well. So I almost understand the probably 2-to-1 pass versus run ratio, which was kind of alarming for a keep pounding. Right. But I get it. It's not always the right thing to do to run it into a team that's geared up to stop the run. But anyway, Bryce Young played well, and that's where we'll start in the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Quarterback played well again. Nearly 300 yards passing, 1 touchdown, another touchdown running. He moved well. He threw well on the run. It wasn't perfect, but if I was doing like a soccer player rating, I'm giving Bryce an 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right? That's a pretty good rating, by the way. It's not a C+ or a C. That's not what the point is. You have to be perfect to get a 10. You have to be awesome to get a 9.
Our little birdie's
right?
trying to go out of the nest.
So he played well. Missed a few throws, but made a ton of great throws. Here's Dave Canales on his quarterback.
I thought he made some critical throws in critical situations. He got us out of some bad ones, threw the ball away a couple times when it was an aggressive day. They blitzed a lot, and he handled it well again. So, and gave us a chance to win for sure on those last couple of drives.
Yeah. Put you in the lead. And then you screwed it up. Bryce Young was asked about, coming up on the short end of a game that they almost had won.
It's tough. Coach talked about it to the team. Just finding ways to finish. Throughout the game, there's just missed opportunities, and it comes back. All of us as a team having to own it. It's not. It's easy from the outside. You could look at one play or one. That's not our how we look at it. We all have to look in the mirror, see what it is. I mean, we know we're there, but that's, there aren't any moral victories. There aren't any. It's a win or a loss, and we didn't get it done. So I think we all just we all have that bitter feeling, and we got to get back to it tomorrow and learn from it.
A lot of good from it. Yeah, what Bryce is talking about is the fact that they lined up for 6 field goals. What did Bryce think about that?
Again, we haven't watched the film yet. We just got to execute better. I think that's really what it is. Again, I look in the mirror. I have to do better. And then all of us have that mindset. We like to focus on us. And at the end of the day, it's a lack of execution from across the board. Again, there's no finger pointing. There's no. We just got to execute. We got to find ways to get 7 instead of 3. And we're gonna continue to work to do that.
There was one drop by Adam Thielen, of all people, who caught a ball one-handed yesterday.
Crazy.
What a great catch that was.
So good.
I mean, he caught it. It stuck to his hand.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's great.
All right, Spider-Man.
That was big. I think that was in the overtime too, wasn't it? Was it in the overtime or the final drive that ultimately led to the overtime? I think it was in the overtime, and it was on a 3rd down play. It was just a great catch. Wasn't the best throw in the world, but Bryce was also under duress and had to get rid of it pretty quickly. But I was so impressed by some of the things that Young did. He looks like an NFL quarterback, people. I mean, flat out looks like an NFL quarterback. And then next year we can find out if he develops into a franchise NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
But as of right now,
I like what I'm seeing.
Panthers fans should go, we might have a quarterback.
What is this?
We're not sure.
Yeah.
But we might.
Christmas came early.
So already things are looking up for next year. All right, real quick. To Saturday. I keep doing that. Saturday in Chapel Hill. After the game, Mack Brown dropped this on the masses.
And all I wanted to do was wait till the end of the year. And they wanted me to retire on Monday before the state game. We hadn't beaten state. It was really important for these kids to play well tonight and have a chance to win. I didn't want to break their hearts on Monday, so I said, no, I won't do that. And then they wanted me to do it on Friday. Well, I sure wasn't going to do it Friday before the game. You're 24 hours from a game, and you're disrupting their entire lives and coaches, because 71 people in this building have a different situation than they had last week. So I felt like that the thing I said is, I'll talk to you tonight after the game about it, or I'll talk to you Sunday morning. And I don't know what the difference in Monday and Saturday night would have been.
Was Mack Brown blaming the loss on the announcement that he was not coming back for next year? Because you could certainly interpret it that way. I just think that's poor form. My understanding, and this is not necessarily inside knowledge, just from talking to people around the program, my understanding is that the preference from the university's perspective would have been for Mack to retire last year, after last season was over. And that didn't happen, obviously. But they were working towards an exit this year. So if they were working towards an exit this year with lines of communication open, then Mack would have presented to the university that, look, I'm going to retire when the year's over. I just don't think it was presented. So mind reading, I understand what you might have heard on the radio in terms of an ad for, California Psychics? You know, if you're not satisfied, if what they say doesn't come true, they'll give you your $20 back.
Right. Get a refund.
I'm just saying. So if, I don't know, Mr. Cleo, and I think there's a bit here, Victoria, We could do this.
I like it.
If Mr. Cleo gives you bad psychic advice, you get your $20 back.
Right. I don't see
Amazing.
anything wrong with
Why
that.
haven't we all taken advantage of this?
We should.
So, is NC State going to beat North Carolina, or is North Carolina going to beat NC State? Mr. Cleo. And Mr. Cleo, puts an envelope up to his head, like Karnak.
Yep.
It was in an old mayonnaise jar underneath Funk and Wagnall's porch since noon yesterday.
Got to wave your hand in the air.
People my age will get that joke. And he'll say, well, no, State's going to win because State always wins this game. Anyway, had Mack Brown presented North Carolina with that information that I intend to retire at the end of the year, I'm sure they would not have fired him.
Right. Makes sense.
Next. Dave Doran wins the game for the fourth year in a row. 8, I think, out of 12. And they're bowl eligible.
When I got hired, they didn't say win 6 and go to a bowl. They said whatever you do, beat Carolina. And we did that for the fourth year in a row. And that means a lot. To me, it means a lot to our program. There's a reason I haven't been able to wear blue for 12 years. For real. I'm not allowed to wear the color blue, And so this game is deep. And when I said it's the biggest game of the year, it is the biggest game of the year. And our players know that. Our fans know that. Our administration knows that. And it's meaningful, And I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying that because it's a rivalry. It's the oldest rivalry in the ACC. So don't tell me it doesn't mean more. It does. It means a lot to our fan base and definitely to me as the head football coach. To say that I'm 8-4 now in this rivalry means a lot to me.
I mean, it's an important game. I'm not lying. You don't want to be the head coach that can't beat their rival. It gets you fired. It got John Cooper fired in spite of winning about 10 games a year at Ohio State for a long time. It's going to get Ryan Day fired. You can't beat Michigan. Even when Michigan ain't any good, you can't beat Michigan. Jim Harbaugh almost got fired at Michigan for not being able to beat Ohio State and Michigan State for a while. And then they finally started getting over them on a regular basis. And now, of course, in the NFL, but he was never going to stay at Michigan forever because that's Jim Harbaugh is that guy. But it's going to get Ryan Day fired. Anyway, when we come back, John Feinstein, legendary author of, if I'm not mistaken, 50 books. The latest one is about college football in the Ivy League, but there is more to talk about with John Feinstein than just that. And we will do that next.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Football is on the menu tonight.
Showtime, prime time.
And we're serving up some fresh AFC action.
Hot dog, man.
It's Cleveland and Denver.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Pregame starts at 7:30. Kickoff at 8:15.
Put up or shut up time.
The NFL on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Wake Med.
Here we go.
99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Monday night, you gotta feel it.
Adam Gold here for my friend, Coach Pete Deruta, Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. And let's be real, as we get to the holidays, we're always looking for ways to have more money. What about if you are retiring very soon? Or maybe you're thinking about planning for retirement so you could have more money when you retire. No better person to go to than Coach Pete Deruta and his merry band of fiduciaries over at Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. And what I mean by fiduciaries, they are legally obligated to do right by you. They don't work on commissions. They are looking to do the best they can for you in retirement. Call 888-843-0013 or you can text Adam to 600-700. And why would you do it today? Well, here's why. Because if you do this right now, we will get you a total customized retirement plan which will get you set up for retirement for free. That's right. No money. Zero. It's a $1,000 value to somebody else. Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex, 888-843-0013. 0013 for Coach Pete DeRuta.
At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for this season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant. We've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Mitchell Heating and Cooling. We do the job right every time.
Mitchell Heating and Cooling is celebrating 51 years of trusted service. And to celebrate, get a furnace tune-up for just $51. That's peace of mind heating for only $51. Visit MitchellHVAC.com. Mitchell Heating and Cooling. Quality products and services on time from a family you trust. It's hard to stop a train.
Hey everybody, Paul Leihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. Tackle the NFL action on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. When you get a hunch in the middle of the game, check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and do so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul and join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/Paul. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This Black Friday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This is Adam Gold.
Yeah, but he's real patient, like he
Right.
said in his interview today.
In all other aspects of life.
Yes.
If he's in line at the drive-thru and it's taking a long time, he will not ram the car in front of him.
Exactly. Someone's pressing his shirt. He will wait 30 seconds for it to be crisper.
The Adam Gold Show.
John Feinstein is a member of 6 Halls of Fame. 6. Not 1, 6 Halls of Fame, including the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame and also the National Sports Writers and Sportscasters Hall of Fame. We're actually going to start there, but first the title of the new book, The Ancient Eight, College Football's Ivy League, and the game they play today. Before we get into the book, because I am a member of NSMA, I get to vote on national, broadcast of the year and the current Hall of Fame class. And I know you and I share an affinity for Mary Carrillo, who I think I voted for 4 times already. We should get, she's as good an analyst as there is in any sport historically. She is in the John Madden category of analyst in my book. I'm hoping that enough people will recognize that this year.
Well, I am too, Adam. It should have, Mary should have been in the Hall of Fame 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been doing it a long time now. And as you said, she does it, in my opinion, your opinion too, better than anyone. She's better than John McEnroe, and McEnroe's really good. And the irony being they grew up on the same block in Douglaston, New York years ago. But I agree with you. The only thing I'll say is this. Mary is as great a broadcaster as she's ever been. She's a better person.
Yep.
She's one of my all-time favorite people. And I couldn't agree with you more about the fact that she belongs in the Sportscasters and Sports Writers Hall of Fame. She has for years.
All right, so she got my vote. I only get to vote for one of those. You can't vote for anybody you believe is going to go in. I voted for her over a bunch of, it was a heavyweight group, as you could expect. All right, the book, The Ancient Eight. First of all, is this really your 50th book?
It is. I've written 35 nonfiction books, and I've written 15 kids' mysteries.
Yes.
So even with my lousy math skills, I know that adds up to 50.
Gosh, that's amazing. 50. All right. So I know just first of all, I want to thank you for starting it off in the first chapter. You really just drill home the humanity of it all with the relationship between Buddy Tevens and Tim Murphy, and you get to that, and there's it's a downer, but it's a very much a human opening chapter, which just draws you right in. But did you write this based on growing up in New York and having the opportunity to go to Ivy League games as a kid? Is that why you wrote it?
That's where it started, Adam, for sure. I mean, I rode the number one train up the west side to Baker Field 3-4 times a year. Columbia only played 5 home games.
Right.
And Columbia was bad in those days. And their only claim to fame really was Marty Domres.
Right.
Graduated from Columbia and became the first quarterback to play for the Baltimore Colts after Johnny Unitas, which is certainly an historic footnote. But they were bad. But I got to see great players come in. Calvin Hill came in. Brian Dowling came in. Ed Marinaro came in. And you could pay $4 and sit on the 40-yard line or the 50-yard line, depending on the day and the game. And I kept following Ivy League football even when I left New York and went to college and then on to the Washington Post. And anytime there was any kind of Ivy League story worth doing, I would do it because I knew that the kids would be good interviews and they would have stories to tell. And that stayed with me. And as you know, 20-odd years ago, I did a book on Patriot League basketball called The Last Amateurs, which ended up on the New York Times bestseller list, much to the surprise of both my agent and my editor. And what that book proved to me is that you don't have to be rich and famous to have a story to tell. And that's what I went back to with the Ivy League idea. I knew these kids would be great interviews, and they were. I interviewed 82 of them, and honestly, Adam, not one of them was a bad interview. They all had, not only did they have stories to tell, but unlike a lot of athletes that you and I have both dealt with, they were willing to share those stories.
Right.
Some of them were sad, some of them were funny, some of them were poignant, but they all had stories to tell. And of course, when I started the book, I assumed that a major part of the book would be the relationship between Buddy Tevens at Dartmouth and Tim Murphy at Harvard, who had grown up together. They first met in a home plate collision in a Little League baseball game when they were 12. And it did turn out to be an important part of the book, but as you said, in a tragic way, because of Buddy Tevens' accident in March, 2 weeks after I had talked to him about the book, and his ultimate death 6 months later. That became a very important, poignant, sad, and in the end, uplifting part of this book.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that just it hits you early, and this is maybe your skill of bringing people into the humanity of it all right away. What do you think, and I know you get into this later, I've just really cracked open the book. What do you think the Ivy League thinks of today's college football?
Well, I think most of the people who are involved in the Ivy League are very happy that they're not part of today's college football. One of the reasons I called the book The Ancient Eight is because it started with these same 8 schools in 1954, and 50 years from now, it'll still be the same 8 schools. They won't realign. They won't bring anybody in. Nobody will leave. And I hate to use the word purity because it's overused, but there is a purity to this league, to the athletes who go to school for 4 years, who 99% of the time do not transfer in or do not transfer out. There are no NILs. There are no bidding wars for players in the Ivy League. You go to play in the Ivy League because you love football, and it's an important part of their lives. And usually about a dozen Ivy League players are in the NFL each year to year. It might be 10, might be 14. 14, depending on the year, 15. But they're good football players. But most of them know that when they play their last game in an Ivy League uniform, the Saturday before Thanksgiving every year, that their football careers are over, that they're going to go on to grad school somewhere, they're going to go on to jobs somewhere. They're going to do things as Jalen Travis, a Princeton kid who had a 3.71 GPA and was all Ivy, said to me, every one of us knows we have 2 jobs. One of our jobs is to play football. One of our jobs is to graduate.
Yeah.
And they're both very important. And those are the kids that you encounter in the Ivy League, regardless of school. And the Ivy League is a throwback. You play 10 games in 10 weeks. There's no postseason, which I disagree with. I think the president should let the champion play in postseason like they do in every other sport.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous to me and to the players, by the way. You know, you hear all these administrators, you hear it all the time, Adam, talking about they want to do what's best for the student athlete, which is, you know, a term used by the NCAA to try to convince us that there are still amateurs playing at Michigan and Ohio State and Notre Dame and Oregon, which are not, or the ACC schools, by the way.
Right.
But they're proud of the fact that they are a throwback. 10 games in 10 weeks. Everybody's home for Thanksgiving. You're not going to have anybody coming to you with offering NIL money. And if you are, as might occasionally happen, chances are you'll turn it down because you're on your way to an Ivy League degree and you don't want to give that up.
John Feinstein is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. The book is called The Ancient Eight, College Football's Ivy League, and the game they played today. It's interesting. You bring up they don't go to postseason play in football. They do so in hockey. They do so in basketball, right?
Yeah,
they do
very successfully.
So and look, the Hurricanes have a player who Eric Robinson, who played at Princeton. Trip Chasey, the analyst, played at Harvard. Jack Drury, one of their centers and a good one, played at Harvard. So the Ivy League has produced a ton of really good hockey players. But here's what my curiosity is this. What is the disconnect between allowing the champion to go to the FCS playoffs as opposed to being in a playoff, including baseball and all the other sports? It doesn't make great sense to me to draw the line at football.
Well, you used the right word, disconnect, because that's what it is. And, you know, the presidents, who shockingly enough tend to be intellectuals who think they're smarter than the rest of us.
Yeah.
You know, we've done it this way all the time. Well, there are a lot of we've done it this ways all the time in the world that have gone away, usually mercifully. Now, just in the last 2 weeks, there's been talk that the Ivy League presidents might get together and might allow the football champion to go to the FCS playoffs, which every coach and every player would like to see happen. Bob Surace, who's the coach at Princeton, who coached what most people agree was the best Ivy League team, you know, of the best last 10 or 12 years, his 2018 team, said, I think we'd all just like to see how we could do.
Right.
And last year, the year I was doing the book, Harvard played Holy Cross when Holy Cross was ranked 4th in the FCS poll and had been to the semifinals the year before and beat them. So there's no question Harvard, Yale, Brown, Princeton, everybody can compete. The league's best team would be able to compete in the FCS playoffs. The only thing about the current system that I like is because you don't have to determine a champion to decide who goes to the playoffs. You can have ties for the championship, and everybody gets a trophy. In the last 2 years, we've had three-way ties in the Ivy League, and I like that. I really do, because you can see the joy on the players' faces and how much they love saying we're Ivy League champions. I like that.
Yeah, except Harvard can't beat Yale suddenly.
They can't beat Yale when they have a chance to win the league outright. Last 2 years.
2 years in a row. This year they beat the other two teams. Who was it? Brown and Dartmouth. No, it wasn't Brown. It was Dartmouth and Columbia. How about that?
Columbia Lions.
They're back. The Columbia Lions are back. Marcellus Wiley University is back. They had a chance to win it outright. They lost at home to Yale for the second consecutive year. All right.
That shocked me, by the way, because Yale wasn't especially good this year. Last year, when Yale beat them at Yale, they tied for the title with Harvard and Dartmouth, as I said, such a remarkable story after Buddy Teven's death. And this year, Dartmouth, Harvard, and Columbia tied for first place. But I did not expect Yale to go in and beat Harvard this year, but they did.
I don't understand. We have overtime in Ivy League games. We have the Ivy League has a basketball tournament now, even though it's only the top 4 teams. Why they're not even? They should have a championship game. I don't know how they would have figured it out this year.
All you do is you start the Ivy League starts its season because it's only 10 weeks, 2 weeks later than everybody else. So start 1 week later,
right, and
then have that open week at the end of the season if you need it for a championship game.
Do it. They should do it. That's John Feinstein. We recorded that before the show. There was actually a newsy reason to talk to John today, and that was the passing of legendary St. John's basketball coach Luke Carnesecca. And coming up later on in the Rewind, we'll get John's thoughts on what Luke Carnesecca meant to really one of the reasons why college basketball has become so popular. It can be directly traced to Luke Carnesecca. And we'll get John's thoughts on that in the Rewind. The book is, I think, phenomenal. John's a great storyteller. I have not read all of it. I will take it with me. I'm going to be out at the end of the week. We're going to Arizona on a youth soccer thing.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like he's a pro. He's not.
I know. He's a world traveler.
He's not. We go everywhere. But anyway, and I'm making it a point this year in the month of December to read at least 2 books. I probably have 30 books that I have received in one way, shape, or form that I have not yet read. Some of them are sports books. Some of them are not. I'm going to read 2, one sports and one other.
Nice.
Over the month of December into the beginning of January.
How to Kill a Mockingbird.
How to Kill a Mockingbird? Or To Kill a Mockingbird?
Either or.
Either one. I'd read the second one.
Yeah. They made a new one.
The first one, like for dummies.
Yes. Dr. Seuss.
How to Kill a Mockingbird for dummies. So yeah, I'm going to bring this one with me to Mesa. All right, when we come back, we'll get into a rewind, but at the same time, and I want you to hear what John Feinstein has to say about the late Luke Carnesecca. But Dabo Swinney, Clemson head coach, campaigns for more than just one ACC team in the playoff. We'll let you hear what he has to say next.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam Gold here, and it's time to tackle the NFL on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, so much more. Same page where you place your bets as well. FanDuel.com/AGS will get you started today, and we will get you started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 wager. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Trust ACT Construction Equipment and Bandit Wood Chippers and Stump Grinders to position your tree service for success. ACT Construction Equipment is your authorized dealer for sales, service, parts, and rentals for Bandit Wood Chippers and Stump Grinders. ACT Construction Equipment has been your authorized dealer for Bandit equipment for over 10 years. Visit one of our 6 North and South Carolina locations or actce.com for more details on Bandit Wood Chippers and Stump Grinders. ACT Construction Equipment, always the right equipment for the job.
You wouldn't ask your mechanic to help stage your property for an open house. As NC Realtors, we're experts who make buying or selling property easier for you. Using the latest technology and armed with local insights, our realtors help you find properties you would want to call home. We also know which details make your property more attractive to other buyers. From start to finish, our realtors know. Find out more at ncrealtorsknow.com.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here, but don't worry. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
It's that time of year when we pack our bags for exciting adventures with friends and family. So make sure you don't have to cancel on those you love the most by getting your flu and COVID vaccines. They're safe and effective. Both flu and COVID vaccines have been updated. So make sure you don't miss that flight and protect those around you. Ask your healthcare provider for your updated flu and COVID-19 shots. Don't wait. Get your updated shots today.
Get protected this season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today.
AARP is working hard to make sure people in North Carolina are getting the most out of life. Whether it's helping you stay healthy, save more money, care for loved ones, or simply have some fun, AARP is making a difference in communities across the state. You have a wise friend and fierce defender with AARP. Learn more about progress being made for older adults in the state by listening to AARP Without Limits. You can find the latest episodes of AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
This is Adam Gold.
Home runs are homers, not dingers, not jacks, not bombs. Can I use tater?
No. Can we say going yard?
Oh, yes.
Right?
If we can't exaggerate, if we can't use colorful, flowery metaphors and descriptions, why are we here?
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Does it feel festive to you?
Festive? I mean, it does in my house.
You've already decorated.
I have. If I didn't do it this weekend, it wasn't going to happen. So.
Yeah, because of the late nature of Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, today's what, the 2nd?
Yeah.
So we're running out of shopping days. I'm going to be away for 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So, yeah, I feel like I'm going to be way behind.
Yeah.
But with all of that said, a couple of good shopping weekends left, but we have not yet decorated. The tree is in the house.
Okay.
Do you have your tree's already up?
Oh, yeah. It's not real.
Oh, it's not real.
No.
It's not real. So,
no.
Surprise me.
Yes.
Yesterday, or 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? I went to the hockey game. Oh, no, it was Friday, I went to the hockey game. We had a Hurricanes game here. And I got home to see a tree outside in a bucket of warm water.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So, tree at the house. Last year, to my surprise, I got home from a hockey game, and there was a tree up.
Nice.
Fake.
Yes.
Artificial. I shouldn't say fake. Artificial.
Yeah. Either or.
So, me, who grew up like lighting candles on a menorah, or
right.
more accurately, screwing in the light bulb
And getting socks.
Right. Well, whatever we got. We actually got presents. I got the same. We gave gifts the same way.
Yeah.
It was we basically got them Christmas morning, like all my friends did.
Right.
But we did a menorah. We didn't have a Christmas tree when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We celebrated Christmas with neighbors and friends, but we didn't have a tree. Me, once I got older, moved to my own place. When I was a single man, I thought, tree.
Why not?
Fun.
Yes.
I don't care. Right? It's the holidays. Fun. Snob. Real tree.
Oh, yeah.
So last year, first time, fake tree. I'm sorry, artificial. Tree.
Yes.
My fault. So I was like, it's easy. It's really easy.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I fundamentally against it.
Right. I mean,
easy.
The tree still had 2 ornaments from last year that were forgotten, so I'm already there.
No, we still decorated the tree.
Yeah.
But it came with lights. The hard part, it's not the balls or the tinsel.
Lights are already on
or
them.
the bow, whatever you put on it. It's fine.
Yep.
And we're very particular about what goes on the tree. The complication are the lights.
Yes.
That is what drives me nuts. Because one light out.
The whole thing.
Strand sucks.
All of it. All of it's gone.
And then you got to start over.
Yep.
So.
Now Christmas trees are like umbrellas. You just pop them open.
Exactly. Just 2 pieces. Bottom, top.
Right. Done.
Snaps in. Beautiful.
Voila. We're
Beautiful.
there.
Heavy as hell, by the way.
Yeah.
But beautiful.
Right. Mine even has the fake dust or the snow or whatever.
Really? Very good.
That we never get.
Ours may or may not. I don't remember. I legitimately do not remember.
Yep.
But my initial reaction was not really feeling artificial, but easy. And then when I got home from the hockey game Friday, there's a tree in our backyard. Okay.
Interesting.
Is it ours?
Yeah.
Because Aileen, who owns a salon right down the street from where we are right now, Salon AG, if anybody cares, she will often she will get a tree for the salon.
Oh, fun, yeah.
So I thought, okay, that must be for the salon. And she was like, no, that's ours. I'm like, what happened to the what?
Right. What about the other one?
So in my heart,
yeah,
I'm glad that we have the real tree.
Yeah.
That smells awesome.
You know what helps with that with the artificial trees?
What?
Which I did. There's a spray that Bath & Body Works sells that smells like Christmas trees.
I'm sure.
Works just the same.
But then I went, oh, man, that's work.
Yeah.
That's effort.
Lights.
We got to dig them out. I got to make sure they all work.
Yeah.
Are we doing white lights? Are we doing colored lights? Because we have we have blue and we have red and we have green and then we've got multicolored.
Yeah.
Like then there's like different kinds of white. There's bright. There's soft. There's yellowish. Like, oh no.
Yep.
I gotta go through that again.
Meanwhile, you have the Easy Street in the box.
Exactly.
In the attic.
I could just bring it down. But
yeah,
I'm kind of happy that it's a real tree. I'm just, now I gotta go.
I've never had a real tree. Growing up, my family, my parents had allergies, so we've always had the artificial trees before they were like the umbrella where you pop them up.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was a hassle.
So, but I'm glad that we've got it. We've got the real tree, and like I mentioned in our meeting today, it is fat.
Yeah, right.
Like not PHAT.
Yes.
I'm telling you that it is almost as wide as it is tall. We usually have taller trees. We have like 9-foot ceilings. So we usually have taller trees. This one is only about 7 feet, but it might be 6 feet wide.
Well, make sure nothing's living in it before you bring it inside if it's still outside.
It's like a perfect like right angle triangle. It's already inside. It's in the house.
Oh, okay.
It's in the house. We got it in. Not a big deal. But it's soaking in warm water, still drinking. So
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we went very long on my tree story. It was completely surprising. All right, I want you to hear, because he is a legend, or was a legend. Lou Carnesecca passed away. Legendary St. John's basketball coach. And John Feinstein knew him very well, covered him when he was at the Washington Post. And I just wanted to get his thoughts on somebody like that passing away who really was an absolute legend in the sport.
Yeah, he was. He was a New York guy who went to St. John's, coached at St. John's, went and coached the Nets for 3 years, and then went back to St. John's for 20 more years. And he's in the Hall of Fame, not just because he won 526 games, not just because he went to the Final Four in 1985, but because he meant so much to the sport, because of his personality, because of his consistent winners. He never had a losing season at St. John's. Never. And all the great coaches. Dean Smith had a losing season. Mike Krzyzewski had two.
Yeah.
John Wooden had losing seasons early in his UCLA time, but Louis, as everybody called him, never had a losing season. And he was such a huge personality. He was a major part of what the Big East became in the 1980s. It was him. It was John Thompson.
Yeah.
It was Jim Boeheim. It was Rolly Massimino. It was P.J. Carlissimo. And then later, briefly, Rick Pitino. And for a long time, Jim Calhoun. I mean, think of that list of coaches. And they all had different personalities. I mean, Louis and Jim Boeheim could not possibly be more different.
Right.
And Louis and John Thompson could not possibly be more different, although they were very close games and friends. And you remember the famous game in the Garden where John showed up wearing one of Louis' horrible sweaters.
Yeah.
And that was one of the great moments ever for me in college basketball. I loved talking to Louis because he'd say anything. And a perfect example of him saying anything was when I'm forgetting the story now, but somebody left. It's when the NIT left New York.
Okay.
When Madison Square Garden kicked the NIT out of New York 2 years ago, and Louis, then 97, said, the NIT not in Madison Square Garden would be like the Yankees not in Yankee Stadium. And that was well said. Of course, George Steinbrenner threatened that once upon a time, but the Yankees are still in the new Yankee Stadium, whatever that means.
Well, the Yankees did play in Shea for 2 years.
Sorry?
The Yankees did play at Shea for 2 years.
They did while the stadium was being renovated, and that was shocking. I mean, I was still a kid in New York when that happened, and it was shocking to me not to be riding the D train to Yankee Stadium to see the Yankees play, but ride the 7 train to Shea just like you did to see the Mets play.
Yep.
It was very strange.
That's John Feinstein. By the way, the book is called The Ancient Eight, and you can hear the entire conversation in the Best of the Adam Gold Show podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. So rate and review, if you will. And, of course, this show is always live on YouTube every day from noon until 3. And you can find us at youtube.com/Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. Real quick, just to put a little bit of context behind that. If you are my age, then you grew up with really at the beginning of the explosion of college basketball. Not that college basketball wasn't big in the 60s and early 70s, but it really hit in the ESPN era in the early 80s. And then the tournament expanded. Remember, it went from whatever it was to like 48, and then it went to 64. In 85 was the first year it was 64 teams, right? Or maybe 84 was the first year it was 64 teams. Maybe it was 64 right before, but seeded, right? It became a big deal. The explosion of college basketball as a TV property coincided with the explosion of the Big East Conference. And Lou Carnesecca was at the forefront, along with John Thompson and others, of the Big East becoming a massive TV influencer in college basketball. ESPN owes its existence to college basketball. Owes it. I don't think ESPN survives without embracing college basketball the way they did. I really don't. And Luke Hornacek and the Big East Conference was a huge part of that. Nobody is saying for a second that the ACC isn't historically the best conference in college ball. But for that, say, 10-year run, the Big East was amazing, and it helped create ESPN. Victoria, thank you very much. We got big doings tomorrow. I have a surprise for Victoria tomorrow. Yeah, surprises. Next.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and